KERX Paris, Fort Smith. The Morning Rush is next.
When we offered the scholarship, I'll never forget it, just the look in his grandparents' eyes. The day that we offered, I mean, it was the greatest thing ever. It was great for me to see what a scholarship offer means to a player here who grew up loving the Razorbacks. I've never seen anything like it. Just the emotion, and it's something I'll always carry with me.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they even one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Okay. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
At the top of the open, you heard Eric Musselman talking about Devontae Devo Davis. I want to say it was at a scholarship luncheon or a Razorback club or something of that sort, but you could feel the emotion that was coming out of Eric Musselman's mouth when he spoke to the true freshman out of Jacksonville that's just been playing his heart out this season. At some point in the program, I want to talk about which freshman has stood out the most to you. Now, the obvious answer is going to be Moses Moody, but compared to the expectations you had for these guys coming in, Jalen Williams, Devo Davis, Moses, I know we haven't gotten to see KK in a full season. Who has outdone expectations for you in 2020 and 2021. Hey, it's a good time to be a Razorback fan right now. Baseball starts today. Your basketball team has won 7 straight conference games, and the football team looks like it's going to be on the right track with Sam Pittman. Want to discuss that a little bit. We have a lot of guests this morning. Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, is going to join us at 7 o'clock. At 7:20, we're going to have on Scott Tabor, former Razorback pitcher, who's on that 1979 College World Series team. And then we're also going to have on Lane Whitman talking a little horse racing a little before 8:30 this morning. And another conversation I'd like to discuss with you all, our Morning Rush listeners, our Morning Rush constituents, is talking about this upcoming recruiting class and what the expectations look like. We did a little bit with RD yesterday. I want to talk about that a little more extensively this morning.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the conversation with Jake Beckett, his Arkansas fund.
I missed him, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be with us at 8, so like you said, we're loaded. So, hey, this first hour, if you're up early with us, getting out and about, this is a great hour to call and interact this hour, early 7 o'clock hour. We'll be loaded the last half of the show with some great conversations, great content coming up. Big weekend ahead. It's supposed to all started tonight with baseball, and I'm looking forward to having Scott back on. You know, last year we didn't get to do that but a couple of times, and then baseball season was gone and to not return for that year. So an exciting weekend coming up with the start of a new season and baseball underway tomorrow. It's supposed to be tonight, but tomorrow night down in Texas.
I know a lot of Morning Rush listeners really enjoy this Arkansas baseball team, not just because they're good, but a lot of you may have grown up playing baseball, watching the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Braves, whatever your team was. I'm a Royals fan. That's kind of what I stick to. But this Arkansas baseball team, I know a lot of people are excited about it. Top 10 preseason ranked on some polls. You look at just kind of the hitting that you're going to have this upcoming season, just some question marks you have. Scott will be able to answer those. And if you have a take at any point this morning, you're welcome to hop in here.
Yeah, Clay's written some great stuff in the Hogs Illustrated Baseball Preview, and we'll talk with Clay about it. But I saw the email yesterday. There's 55 players around the country that are on the preseason watch list or the initial nominations for the Golden Spikes Award. And we all are familiar with that because Benintendi was honored with that award. Arkansas's got 2 of those 55 players on its roster. So
I'm going to guess one's Christian Franklin, the other one's Robert Moore.
You got the email too, then.
Okay.
So
I legitimately didn't see it.
That's exactly the two that, you know, because if you said, hey, who are the best couple of baseball players on this team this year, those would be 2 names that should come to mind.
Opitz.
Yep.
And who was the other preseason all SEC selection? Those 3: Christian Franklin, Casey Opitz, Robert Moore.
Robert
and
Moore
there's
is the one that's going to get a lot of attention.
It might have been Matt Goodhart, who was the other one out of Magnolia, if I remember that correctly. I'm trying to. I know
Should
that
be a fun weekend. I mean, obviously you've pushed things back. Texas Tech, TCU, all down there in Arlington. The weather. Have you seen the No, you don't see the forecast. You never pay attention to the weather.
Nope.
I was noticing yesterday in the extended range forecast. Now, it doesn't go all the way out till next weekend and through the weekend. Bro, we're going to have some 70-degree highs next week. We're going to go from minus 20 to pushing 70.
That's
River
pickleball
Valley
weather.
in the 70s. So, I mean, what I say that because I know you are interested and want to go to that Southeast Missouri State, that CMO series that begins on Thursday the 25th.
That's got a high of, of course, there's 30% chance of snow on Friday.
Next week?
Yeah.
Why? Because I just saw the forecast with Garrett Lewis last night, and it was like, pushing 70s the end of next week. And that River Valley coming to
you're looking at.
Yeah.
Next Friday is the high of 46.
Yeah.
And partly sunny.
What's the day before that? Because
50% chance of rain, but high of 46.
Okay, because one of the days next week we're like pushing 70s.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Mid-60s.
Unbelievable. We can go from where we're at to that. So anyway, hopefully the weather will be good for the home opener next week.
I'd rather.
I didn't look that far out because the forecast I saw wasn't through next weekend. So.
I'd rather the first baseball game that I go to this season it not snow a little bit. I'd rather avoid that if I can, but I'll be out there in the hog pen for all you Arkansas baseball fans that'll be making either a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday or Sunday game this next week at SEMO. But hopefully we'll be able to see you out there because the plan is you play the LSU Tigers on Saturday, next Saturday at 1. So my plan was go to the baseball game on Friday, go to the basketball game on Saturday, and then I got a buddy's engagement party that I got to be back for on Saturday night.
Yeah, I pulled up the extended Fayetteville forecast. There is rain in the forecast the end of next week, but around 50 degrees each day. That stinks.
Just when you thought you were through
Arkansas weather, going to be in the 60s on Tuesday and Wednesday. Nope, can't have nice things here. We got to have rain and 40s for baseball.
Speaking of weather, my nephew's school was canceled the rest of the week, and the basketball game that I was hoping to watch him be able to play this week doesn't look like it's going to happen. I'm bummed about that.
You could have went and reffed it.
I
mean,
know.
You're an experienced
an official
Girls Club, Girls Inc. referee.
I have my whistle in the car, and I got the shirt you gave me at home and the short shorts I bought from Walmart.
You and short shorts don't need to go together.
I got better legs than you do.
And
you're comparing your legs to him?
Yeah, they're toned.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're toned.
They're built. They're built.
Yeah.
That's the one part of my body that looks like I skip working out.
Is that why you wear pants all the time?
Mm-hmm.
I wear pants all the time?
You don't show off your legs when you come to work.
Oh.
If you're proud of your legs, why don't you show them off?
I typically wear pants when it's under 45 or 50 degrees. That's kind of the rule of thumb. Anything above that, I'm wearing shorts. Just how I am.
All right, a lot to get to here today on the program. I'll shut down the conversation about Ty's legs. I know some of you are trying to eat breakfast out there, so we'll get to that. Like Ty said, ton of guests coming up. Hey, it's all brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. As you've probably been home the last 3, 4, 5 days watching a lot of TV. If you're not satisfied with the lack of channels you're getting, the channels you get don't have anything on it you want to watch. How many times have you went all the way through the guide and found nothing? Well, it's time to make the move to DISH, get all the movie channels, get great on-demand content that's at a button push away, a fingertip away from downloading over 80,000 shows and movie titles. It interfaces with your Prime Video from Amazon, also interfaces with Netflix. You don't have to leave that source, go to another source to watch Netflix. So easy with the new Hopper system. Whole home DVR, HD in every room, and a 2-year price guarantee when you call WOW now. 877-305-DISH. Tell them Uncle Ty sent you, and you'll get a $100 Visa gift card for signing up this weekend. They'll have you installed in a few days. 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
All right, coming up in the program, want to talk about just kind of where you are as an Arkansas fan right now. Things going good. We'll talk a little Arkansas basketball, who you're liking the most of these crop of freshmen, these true freshmen, and just kind of your expectations for this 2020 Arkansas football recruiting class. Top 30 year one, top 25 in year two. Can you get to top 20 under the third-year recruiting cycle of Sam Pittman?
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Broderick Green, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Headquartered here in Arkansas, designed in Switzerland, and field tested by customers all over the world, Canis Tactical Hunting Gear will allow you to hunt longer, farther, and in more comfort than ever before. Our Alpha Camo pattern was designed with versatility in mind. Whether you are hunting early or late season whitetails, chasing greenheads in the timber, our layering system will keep you warm and dry no matter how extreme the conditions. Visit us at canisathlete.com and use the code Arkansas to receive 15% off your first order. Canis Athlete, be the wolf.
So, you upgraded to the elevated ride of the 2021 Toyota Highlander.
New Highlander, Mr. D?
Yeah, figured it was time for something nicer, more refined.
Look at this thing. I mean, that moonroof is pretty sweet.
It's extremely stylish.
Now, that's not all. As you can see, it has leather seats, dual-zone climate control.
And comes with all the latest tech.
And Android Auto. Check out this 12.3-inch touchscreen. Great for navigation, hands-free communication, music.
Awesome.
The Highlander also has loads of space and even a third-row seat.
Did I see 5 USB ports?
You sure did, buddy.
Perfect place for your daughter's new boyfriend.
This is so embarrassing.
Elevate every ride in the new 2021 Highlander.
Get $1,500 customer cash. Or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Highlander L for only $279 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and 3/1/21.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
At Franco Furniture for the month of February, Franco Furniture is ready to deal on cash or finance sales. Just come on in and tell us you heard this ad on ESPN 95.3 and receive huge discounts. Franco Furniture stands behind our furniture with service after the sale and carry as many made-in-the-USA brands as possible. We are family-owned and offer in-store no-credit check financing. Franco Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Arkansas Stewart, partially blocked by Hill, but Williamson won. Too strong.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
Let's talk about what you think right now as an Arkansas sports fan, just where everything is, football, basketball, baseball. We'll do that in just a sec here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, don't forget Art's Barbecue back open. I know a lot of local businesses have been shut down the last few days because of weather and the gas restrictions from AOG. So now back open. Those have been lifted and able to service today. And I can't wait to get by Art's this weekend. Couple things going on. Catfish Friday. So you can get the catfish special today. They always have the all-you-can-eat catfish. You can get one of their delicious burgers tomorrow. That's $1 off. So you can have that. And, of course, barbecue is the star of the show there. Baby back ribs. Their pulled pork is as good as anywhere you're going to find. Love the brisket. Their homemade sausage that they have. You'll like all of it, and great sides as well. All right, you can call ahead, 452-2550. Their drive-up window means you can take it home. It'll be hot, fresh, and ready to go. You can call ahead and do curbside service, or you can dine in with them as well. And don't forget the Waiter app to have it brought to you. That's Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Tell them Ty and Tommy sent you.
I want to start with your athletics director that you have up on the Hill in Mr. Hunter Yurchek. Now, we had him on the show about a week or so ago, and one of the things that I think makes Hunter Yurchek so endearing to the fan base is he is able to relate, communicate with the common fan. And by common, I'm just talking about the one that maybe makes less money than the big-time booster. That is a big part of being an athletic director, is the ability to see eye to eye with someone who's donating millions of dollars to the university and the fan that is a diehard Arkansas fan but only has enough money to go to the game. And there's not a better Arkansas fan. You're not determined how great your fandom is by how much money you make or how much money you donate to the university. But as the athletics director, you have to be able to have a distinct relationship with both parties and not make the other one mad. What I think Hunter's done since arriving is appease, but I don't know if appease is the right word, but he's been able to communicate very thoroughly and get his point across to multiple people, and that's why I think a lot of people enjoy him.
Well, he's been here
so far.
3 years. A third of his time's been dealing with COVID and all the fallout and the restriction of tickets and the revenue problems and all of those things. He made a decision. I mean, right now you'd have to say he's known for a couple of things: hiring Sam Pittman, firing Mike Anderson, and hiring Eric Musselman. Whatever order you want to put that in your own personal perspective, it's fine. But those are the three big ones right now.
Yeah.
Wait till things are rolling along and the stadium's full again, and he raises ticket prices, and then you'll see some people upset because that's the nature of that job. Right now, you hadn't made a very unpopular decision with a lot of people. So, but your point is he's able to get on any level. Whether you're common fan out here, like most of us, they get to go to a few games a year, probably don't even have season tickets. You're hoping to buy some off Facebook, or a buddy offers you some tickets, and you get to go to a football game or two, a few basketball games, and you try to sneak in the ballpark, a few times a year. That's the common Arkansas fan. But your point is, when your job is to raise money to keep a program going, you got to be able to adjust and get on those levels. And I think he is widely popular because his predecessor, Jeff Long, could not relate and had no interest in relating and getting on the level with $40,000 a year average Razorback fan. He only wanted to talk to $4 million a year elite booster.
And that's where I was going to go next. A lot of times you are helped by your predecessor. You're either helped or hurt by your predecessor. Mm-hmm. And in this case, with Hunter being able to relate with a lot of different fans, I think he's helped by that. And you and I have friends that, like I have friends that own box seats, right? Mm-hmm. And I talk with them, and they really like Hunter. I have friends that don't have a penny to their name, and they like him too. That's just what you have right now as an athletics director. To your point, stuff changes. He raises ticket prices. He makes an unpopular decision, and we know how things can flip. Right now, at this point, you're happy with your athletics director. Let's go to the phone lines, 877-377-6963. The number caller text in this morning. Brent out in Stuttgart wants to ask a baseball question. Also has 13 inches of snow down in the duck capital of the world.
Yeah,
What's
finally got some cold weather. Now duck season's over. So.
Oh, I don't believe you'd want to be out hunting ducks in this weather. I'm telling you.
Yeah, probably brought them in though.
It would have brought them in. Tommy and Ty, I had a question, and I want to make a comment on our basketball team if I can.
Okay.
Where can I find the baseball? Are the baseball games going to be televised on the internet, or where are they going to be televised this weekend?
There is no regular TV for this weekend's games. Now, I have seen floating around a link that you can purchase, is my understanding, to watch the games for this weekend. I got better news, though. You can listen right here on the radio and at hitthatline.com, and Phil will bring you the game for free. So there is a link out there. I'm not as familiar with it. I've had 2 or 3 people tell me that you can buy the games this weekend to watch on the internet. I'm guessing that's going to be like the in-stadium feed or something.
Hey, I would rather listen to Phil on the radio.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are
just
in
go
your
to
camp.
hitthatline.com and we'll have it there for you.
I didn't know if you would or not, because basketball will be going on.
Well, Saturday, you're correct. Saturday there's a conflict. Now, so I'm specifically speaking for baseball for Sunday and Monday, but I'm glad you asked that question because we probably haven't articulated that enough. Basketball will be the priority this weekend, and we hate that because such a big weekend for baseball, but there's honestly no way to do both. We would if we could. So we'll have basketball Saturday, baseball Sunday and Monday.
Now on to my basketball question. This basketball team has I don't even know how you could describe it.
You got about 30 seconds, Brett. Just want to give you a heads up.
Okay, this basketball team, they have grit, they have heart, and you can just call them men at work. And that's all I have to say about that basketball team. Just great right now. Talk to you later.
Hey,
Thanks.
Appreciate it, Brent. Appreciate you listening.
Warm up down there.
Yeah. Brent, guys, remember, Brent's in an area where we don't have a radio signal, but he's either listening on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. So if you're ever outside of our listening area, ESPN Arkansas, ESPN 99.5 and 97.1 in South Arkansas and Camden, you can always listen onto those platforms just like Brent is doing with both Halftime and the Morning Rush. And then Ruskin and Zach is always on hitthatline.com and the TuneIn app. Just wanted to remind everyone about that this morning.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we are everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Everywhere from 6 to 9, from 11 to 1, and from 3 to 7 here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. All right, coming up, we'll get into some quickie headlines. Big trade in the NFL. Carson Wentz's next destination.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
What's better than getting something for free? Winning. Woohoo! And with the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, you get the chance to do both. For $5, you get 3 tickets, a Powerball ticket with Power Play, a Mega Millions ticket, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket. That's 3 ways to win. So ask for the $5 bundle today. Bundle is eligible with Quick Picks only. Offer ends February 28th. Call 1-800-52.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Interested in competing will have the chance to win a $10,000 welding scholarship and welding supplies. There will also be cash prizes for those that finish in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Positions are extremely limited to enter the competition, so to get more info and to sign up, contact United Welding Institute at 479-968-3390 or by logging on to their website, unitedweldinginstitute.com.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
The Frozen Knuckles Challenge is back at Wheeler Power Sports. Claim up to $150 in Wheeler Power Sports cash, along with chances to win other prizes just for riding your bike this winter. The contest runs through March the 6th, so make sure every time you get on your bike, check in at Wheeler Power Sports. For more on the Frozen Knuckles Challenge, go to WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports is located at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
Man, I just want to ride, man. I just want to ride.
This is Mike Hatchley with Hatchley Air. Did you know we've been serving customers like you since 1958? For our 63rd birthday, Carrier gave us a free furnace. We decided to pay it forward by giving the furnace away along with a brand new high-efficiency air conditioner. For your chance to win, go to AtchleyAir.com. One lucky homeowner will win a high-efficiency system valued at nearly $9,000, and there's no cost to you. Don't wait to enter. The drawing will be held on February the 25th.
AtchleyAir.com.
The B.F. Goodrich President's Day sale, because leaders never follow. Between February 12th and 19th, get a $70 or $50 reward card or virtual account after online submission with the purchase of 4 new select B.F. Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality B.F. Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, B.F. Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart. See bfgoodrichtires.com/promotion for complete details. Offer expires February 19, 2021. Void where prohibited.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the heated patio and the cozy dining room. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 to 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Bradley for three. Watch out. Bang. Boy, what an answer. Huh? Pat Bradley.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Got to get into some quickie headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush. Your calls, your text at 877-377-6963. Big trade in the NFL yesterday that we'll discuss in just a sec.
Brought to you by Baxter Regional Medical Center, there to take care of you and your family and do it safe. Again, they want you to come and see them if you and your family need medical attention. They are following all the state and CDC guidelines to keep you and your family safe, asking you to wear your mask, maintain 6 feet of social distancing, and do that everywhere so that, that when you see Baxter Regional, it's not for COVID, it's for, ongoing medical care, because that's what they're there, just to give you great medical care. They're committed to providing excellent care to every patient every time. Hey, if you want to know what they're doing and how they're keeping you and your family safe during this pandemic, go to baxterregional.org/coronavirus. That's baxterregional.org/coronavirus, or search them up on Facebook and follow them at Baxter Regional Medical Center.
Want to travel out to Okinawa, Japan, and welcome in our buddy Chris, who's got a question about the Dallas Cowboys. Chris, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm pretty good, guys. How are y'all?
It's good, man. It's good to hear your voice.
Thank you.
What's your question today?
I just had a comment about the Colts trade where the Colts acquired Carson Wentz. Being a Cowboys fan, I just kind of don't see what the Colts were looking at when they got Carson Wentz. He is a good quarterback, but, what do you guys see in Carson Wentz at Indianapolis?
They didn't give up a lot, as I remember. I didn't write down a lot. They didn't give up a lot to get him. Now, there's some conditions that he plays so much and his stats reach certain levels that the draft picks they got in exchange
it's got to be
elevated.
Play 75%, right. 70% if he makes the playoffs.
Because obviously he's had a lot of injuries. So I don't think they gave up a lot to get him at this point.
Chris, the backstory on this, Frank Reich was in Philadelphia when Carson Wentz had his best season, and Philadelphia had either the worst or one of the worst offensive lines in the National Football League this past year. And Carson's had some injury concerns over the years, but Indy had one of the best offensive lines, and they narrowly fell short to the Buffalo Bills in that 27-24 playoff game. They think that the Reich and Carson Wentz combination could potentially bode well for them, and they were really just missing a quarterback this last year, Phillip Rivers being on his last leg. Carson Wentz has still got a lot in him as a guy that was drafted in 2016. That's kind of where the Indianapolis Colts, their heads are at, their management is at, Jim Irsay and his crew are at right now.
Are they still overcoming Andrew Luck? They wanted Andrew Luck to be the next Peyton Manning, as do a lot of people want their quarterback draft, but I think they're as a franchise, Chris, that's where the Colts are at. So I don't know. I think this is an interesting deal. We'll see if Wentz can meet some of those thresholds and stay healthy for this next year.
Still there, Chris?
Yeah, I hope he does well. I think he might do well with that offensive line they've got. For the Cowboys' sake, I hope he doesn't do too well.
Yeah.
Well, here you. Nobody that's a Cowboys fan wishes the Eagles well. That's for sure.
Well, Chris, we appreciate your call this morning. We appreciate your service out there in Okinawa, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Absolutely. So, again, mentioned it last segment with Bryn Stuttgart. That's even a more prevalent example. We have someone listening.
Oh no, we have an affiliate. We have an affiliate in Okinawa,
in Japan.
Yeah, we're on one of the stations there in Okinawa.
All the way out there. So to Chris's point, we'll start there with the Wentz trade. He's traded for the Colts for a couple draft picks. It was a second and a third, and like Tommy mentioned, if Wentz plays, I think it's 75%. It turns into a first. It's kind of weird how this works in the NFL. It's
conditional.
There's no points in diving into that, but as I mentioned,
point is, if he plays well and plays a lot and he's not injured, the Eagles get more for it.
Yeah. So that's kind of the biggest NFL news to date. I also, Sal, Chris will enjoy this as a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I brought this up with Matt as he came in this morning. Dak Prescott has been really good to the Dallas-Fort Worth community. There's a bunch of homeless people. He donated, I think, $1,000 worth of meals to homeless people that are going through. Well, there's electric outages, just various things going on in the Dallas area right now. Anytime that you have a prominent football, basketball, or baseball player giving back to the community, it's pretty cool. And this isn't the first time that Dak has done something like this. He also donated $1 million to the Dallas police force to help with racial training. I think is what it was boiled down to. But for all you Dallas Cowboys fans out there, I'm of the belief that Dak is not worth the money that he's seeking. But when it comes to him giving back to the community, he's definitely worth every bit of that part.
And we probably all need to be thinking more about those without homes and shelters right now. I can't imagine. And I know there's places you can go and hopefully everyone's taking advantage. I can't imagine right now trying to survive out in the conditions overnight.
Nope.
There's no way possible.
Nope.
No way possible. So glad Dak and a lot of other people that don't have the same notoriety or fame as him have done things to help those in need right now.
And speaking of donating, we're going to have on Jake Beckett, former Razorback, at 8 o'clock this morning. He started the Arkansas Fund, which is very similar to the Barstool Fund, except on a much smaller scale. Jake's already raised over over $100,000 for Arkansas small businesses, and really excited to catch up and just kind of see what went into this process of starting this relief fund for the different people of Arkansas.
Yeah, and I know he's trying to get to $1 million of fundraising here to help Arkansas businesses. So we'll talk with Jake about that coming up. You can go to the website, was it thearkansasfund.com, and you can donate or you can nominate a business that you know is in need. I've got a couple of close friends that their business has really suffered from the pandemic, and now this past week, this weather has really put the clamps down on people too. So it's been a tough time for a lot of people.
The Arkansas women's basketball team was set to play Ole Miss last night. That game has been moved to tonight at 6 o'clock. If you bought a ticket for the game, you're gonna get in, and it's just gonna it's mobily now. It's just gonna re-update on your phone.
So Phil thought he was going to get to go to Dallas early and get make it a nice, leisurely, easy trip down there. Nope. He's he doesn't get to leave the day early now.
Well, we've been joking about that all week because I don't think there's anybody in the world that's more excited for Razorback baseball than him.
Right.
To get back. So he's
after
been
missing
up.
last year. So
yeah.
So then they moved the games back. Then they canceled the women's game. He thought he had a window. Now he's going to stay, do the women's game, and then hoof it down to
Dallas for that.
Dallas.
But it honestly works out better for him because hopefully by that point the snow will start to melt away, at least on the freeways and the highways. That'll get him to Dallas. So gonna be pumped. I'm pumped up for him.
Yeah. Just allow 8 hours there, Phil. You'll be fine.
I mean, we've sold
and don't get any more of them chicken fingers at Whataburger. Come on, man.
Got to do better than that. Did you and Matty T grill him about that, or did you guys?
I mean, he's his own man. I can understand where he's coming from.
So
I'm not going to go to Whataburger for chicken strips, but I get it.
Yeah.
Or chicken fingers, whatever they are.
Maybe as an appetizer while they're making my double.
Sure.
When they're making the burger. Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it. So the softball team, Arkansas softball team, had their games canceled in Arlington. It's now been moved. The Cowboy Classic has been moved to Lake Charles.
They just moved the whole thing?
The whole thing to Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's going to be tomorrow and Sunday. It was set to play in Arlington, Texas. They're going to play Louisiana Tech and McNeese State. Again, now in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Oh, good.
Instead of Arlington.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm sure that with the softball tournament, if you can just get the teams to get there, it's not like it takes a lot of preparation to get that thing set up if your ballpark's ready. And obviously, the further south you go, the less weather you're probably dealing with in that part of Louisiana. Although the weather and the snow and everything here has been worse the further south you went in our state. So my mom's trying to get back from Florida today, so hopefully the roads and everything that direction they went through Louisiana to get there last time are good. So hopefully good for the softball team too as they make that trip.
Now
they don't get to fly charter with a softball team. They have to bus it.
Now, you hadn't read this article yet. Jason Kersey of The Athletic, who now he used to cover Arkansas for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, an SEC country. He now covers Oklahoma for The Athletic, wrote a piece on the Arkansas State game. And The Athletic obtained comment from former Arkansas law student, former President of the United States. Which one was he?
No, he was a teacher. He was a professor in the law school, didn't he? Because he went to school over in England. He was a Rhodes Scholar or whatever over there. Then
he didn't go to law school at Arkansas.
Then I think he taught law school at Arkansas.
Okay.
Then became Attorney General. Then became governor. And then something called President of the United States.
Yeah. So Bill,
I think I've got that right.
I probably shouldn't call him Bill. Former President Clinton said he'd been waiting a long time for Arkansas State to play, and thank those who made it happen. Again, that comes from The Athletic, and this is one of the biggest Arkansas fans nationally.
Well, I don't know if he's
ever.
the biggest fan. He just is the most notable fan. Yeah.
That's probably the better way to put it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is exactly what a politician would say. You know, how happy you are and thank all those involved, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. You know.
He went to Yale, by the way.
Right. So, but he also went over to, anyway, it doesn't matter. This isn't about Bill Clinton and his he was a Rhodes Scholar or one of those highfalutin something over there too. But anyway, moving on. This is exactly the kind of thing you'd expect to be said. And listen, people want to hear what he has to say about things because he's probably as an accomplished Arkansan as there's been. Him and Sam Walton wasn't from here. I was trying to think of Sam Walton was from Missouri, but you think about people born in our state. Who's done more with their time and accomplished more than Bill Clinton becoming president? So everybody wants to hear what he has to say about it. Even on a subject like Arkansas playing Arkansas State.
Did you see the Brett Bielema lawsuit got pushed back again?
Yes, I did see this.
You want to explain that to me since I'm not a lawyer?
I don't know that I can. You would think at some point these two parties would just get together, mediate this thing out, come to a settlement, and move on. Because you know who's winning in all of this? Let me explain this part to you because this would be real easy for all of us to understand. You know who's winning right now? The lawyers. Because the bills keep mounting and mounting and racking up. And hey, he's got a new war chest to fight with a job at Illinois, paying him similar money. Now, how all of this factors in and all of that, I don't know how that changes the math with him getting the new job or if it even does. But I'm just telling you, the lawyers are the ones that they're coming out on this deal because they just keep racking up the hours.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'd say.
Making some money on that.
Yeah, I mean, $250, $300 an hour is it adds up fast. So it adds up fast.
It happens. So money on that. All right, that's going to do it for our quickie headlines here on the Morning Rush. Hey, I want to remind everyone, make sure you're subscribing to the Hit That Line podcast network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. I counted up our platforms yesterday. We have over 15 platforms that our podcasts are on. All you got to do is, again, search Hit That Line. It's brought to you by the Breeden RV Center, family-owned and operated, a no-pressure, laid-back atmosphere, and always home of the free maintenance
for life. Jalen Williams, Devo Davis, and Moses Moon. Now, I wish I could include KK Robinson in this conversation, but because of his foot injury, he's out for the year. You could even make this, if you want to central down to more of a Jalen and Devo conversation, I'm okay with that. But I'd like to ask you this morning at 877-377-6963, what freshman basketball player have you been most impressed by?
Well, are we basing it on expectation or based on what they've done? I know it's a different conversation for me because the best player, if you want to ask me who the best of this group is, it's Moses Moody, right? No question about that. But the one that's probably exceeded your expectations and impressed me the most would be Devontae Davis at this point, particularly the way he's played the last 3, 4, 5 weeks. Goes in and gets those rebounds, been a tough player, plays hard, high motor. You hear Jimmy Dykes on these games just fawn on the guy, his favorite player
on the Razorback team. But Moses Moody's the best amongst that freshman group, right? I mean, I think that's an easy one to answer. What do you think?
Who's the best player? Well, if you say anyone else outside of Moses Moody, you haven't watched it.
Well, you're wrong. I mean, you're just wrong if you say that. But, I mean, I guess I'm asking how are you phrasing the question? Is it based on your expectation?
You can take it wherever you want.
Well, I mean, Moses Moody's the best player, and Devo Davis has been the best surprise.
Okay. I think that what Jalen Williams, because we don't want to lose him in this conversation.
No, it shouldn't.
What he's been able to do as a post player and as a big man, gutting out a deep knee bruise, and for those who have been through anything with their knees, you know how painful that can be. I think that he is given a toughness about this basketball team down low that Connor simply can't give. Now, Connor is a more polished shooter, might be a more polished all-around player. I think Jalen's ceiling is higher than Connor, but what he's done is push Connor Vanover so Connor just can't walk into the starting lineup in another league. He's had to continue to
hang on, Gary. We'll get you out here just in a second, my friend.
Give him all he can handle when it comes to minutes in the post.
Well, and Jalen's another. I found it interesting. Me and you were texting back and forth during the game the other night. You could see that knee still bothered him as he was getting up and down the floor. But I think you're right. The competition that's created in practice, the competition for minutes in games, based on the matchup, who's been able to be the better fit for that particular game of that night. You can see he's not a one and done. These, outside of Moses, you don't really have any other prospects for really a one and done as freshmen. But you can see, hey, here's the guy, here's the future as your 4 and 5, and your inside presence with Razorbacks with Jalen. There's no question about it.
And I
think I'm sorry. In short order, he'll even though he doesn't have 7'3" height, he's going to surpass
and gain those minutes by next season.
And I want to remind everyone that Jalen and Devo played on the same AAU Woods Elite basketball team. Now, they didn't play on the same high school team. Jalen going to Fort Smith Northside, Devo going to Jacksonville High School, but they do have that connection in chemistry, and they play with the joy about them. You heard at the top of our open, Eric Musselman discussing how excited and happy not just Devo was about earning a scholarship to the University of Arkansas, but his family, including his 2 grandparents, how delighted they were to see that, and that's what you have. And
Muss has touched on it before. You got some kids in their state that have spent their whole life dreaming of becoming Razorbacks, and now you got 2 individuals. And I know Devo initially committed to Oklahoma State, but at the end of the day, he chose you. He chose to become an Arkansas Razorback, and that is shown his love for the state of Arkansas and this Razorback basketball program. You can see it on display every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Every single game he plays with a fierce vigor about him that I think is contagious with the rest of this basketball team.
And I'm not going to disagree with anything you said. I think, love of the state and all that's great, but I think it's a reflection of the coaching he's received. I think this was something that was attractive about him as a recruit, but I think it's just went to another level because a lot of what those things you just said about the energy and the effort and the high motor and playing hard, that's the way he's coached, right? Because we see that in just the way Eric Musselman goes about coaching this team and being a leader, is the high energy and the effort that's put in there. So I think it's a reflection of his coaching as much as it is any of those other things you said.
It's always the chicken or the egg argument, right? Because these players can't just not have talent and get better. Like, it's one of those things where these guys come in.
Fields make farmers or farmers make fields.
They're ranked for a reason, and Muss has shown the ability of player development at his previous stop at Nevada, his other stops in the G League, the NBA, and stuff like that. And then also here at Arkansas, you've seen it with the most prime example would probably be Mr. Mason Jones. All right, let's welcome in Mr. Gary in Fort Smith this morning. Gary, it's been a while since we've run into each other at the gym, man. I miss you. What's going on?
Hey, glad to just be on the show. And Tommy's right, man. I think Moses Moody is the most talented player, but I think Devo is by far played above and beyond what we thought he would play this year.
Yeah, and I think Ty brings up Jalen. I think that's a great.
We don't want to look past.
We don't want to look
done.
past what he's done,
Yeah.
and also at times where Connor Vanover could not fit in that lineup. But no, you're exactly right, Gary. I mean, I think Devo's one of these guys that he knows. Hey, I'm not 6'8", not 6'9". I've got to be able to put my energy and my effort on display because that's what's going to get me to the next level. Because I'm not going to be able to do it on just physical skills.
Hey, Tommy, I know that you just had a good past, and sometimes when you're on the show, you need to tell the prank that we pulled on Chuck Barrett before he ever became the voice of the Razorbacks.
That was that what we will have to tell that story sometime. Gary used to work at Randall Ford, and I don't have enough time to go into it, but no, you're exactly right. That was a great story and a great prank on Chuck as he was doing a live show that day at Randall.
Hey, we love you guys, and y'all have a great show, and be safe out there, guys.
All right, thanks, Tank.
Thanks, appreciate it, Gary. And this, not the guy that I usually go work out with the gym.
Gary in Fort.
Another Gary in Fort Smith. I just associated that name with that.
He'd have just said Tank. We'd have known. I mean, that's his name. That's what everybody calls him.
That's what where he goes by.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey, this weekend, get out and find a great place to watch some of these games, whether it's the Arkansas game at 7:30 Saturday night or any other great sports over the weekend. There'll be a lot of SEC basketball. You can do it at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Was there last Saturday? Yeah, Saturday.
Or you
Saturday.
can tailgate from home. They got the big bundle you can get right now, starting at $39.99. It feeds a crew of 4 or 5 for most people, probably one tie and one SmackDown. 40 wings. You get 20 traditional, 20 boneless wings and fries for $40. Now, that's a pretty good deal right there. $40 gets you 40 wings and the fries. I bet that'd fill you up all the blue cheese and ranch and all that stuff. So, hey, come out and celebrate the Hogs. Watch the big games at Buffalo Wild Wings. Also, don't forget you can order online or dine in with Buffalo Wild Wings. Fort Smith, Conway, Sherwood, Little Rock, and in Jonesboro, it's Buffalo Wild Wings.
We're going to be, welcomed in by Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, coming up. We have a lot to discuss with him. Scott Tabor, former Razorback pitcher on the 1979 College World Series team, is going to join us about 7:20. Then we're going to have on Jake Beckett, former Razorback, talk about the Arkansas Fun coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. It's kind of where you're sitting right now as an Arkansas Razorbacks fan. It's feeling good. There's a lot of good things going on for your football program, your baseball program, and your basketball program. You can't forget what Mike Neighbors and his group has done so far this season. They've definitely added another surprise element that many of you have flocked to, and you just wish that UConn game you could have been as full as you could, because they would have stuffed 10,000 plus.
You had enough.
Yeah, I did ask Gino Auriemma how tough it is to play inside a Bud Walton Arena against a Mike Neighbors coach group.
And because of the game time, and then I know they moved it back an hour there late, but weekday day was
4?
Well, it was 4, and then they played at 5.
Okay.
But I don't know, if there had been no restrictions, how many would you have gotten in there? I don't know if you'd have got 10,000 in there, but maybe.
You would have had a lot more than you had.
Sure.
Maybe you would have doubled up, but you mentioned the time. It's tough.
Well, time made for TV. That's when ESPN told you were playing. So
that's how it is these days.
But being on TV is more important than anything for the exposure and the promotion of the program.
Especially when you beat the greatest women's basketball program right now in UConn Huskies and Mike Neighbors group was able to do that. Plus the defending national
championship and Baylor Bears. I know they didn't win last year, but there wasn't one last year, 2 years ago. So beat Kim Mulkey's squad earlier this year.
Last one to win it, though,
Quite
right?
impressive, yeah.
It wasn't one last year.
So. 877-377-6963, the number to call or text in. Hour number 2 is on the way. A lot to discuss. You're welcome to try and get in here with your calls and texts. Happy Friday, everyone. Glad the snow is finally melting. It's going to be a good weekend.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, Apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. RV Show Pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. And with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle, owning a new RV has never been easier. RV Show Pricing, beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place is now open to serve you the award-winning steaks you've been missing, along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Doe's Eat Place welcomes their loyal diners back and new diners to experience the best steaks, atmosphere, and service in the River Valley. The patio is also open for your dining pleasure. Just call for reservations. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Lots of sunshine today, or high this afternoon in the middle to upper 30s. Tonight, partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the mid-teens. Saturday, we're back to sunshine, or high in the low to mid-40s, and then a chance of rain shower Sunday, highs close to 45 degrees. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Listen to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown. Now every weekday from 11 to 1. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
When we offered the scholarship, I'll never forget it, just the look in his grandparents' eyes. The day that we offered, I mean, it was the greatest thing ever. It was great for me to see what a scholarship offer means to a player here who grew up loving the Razorbacks. I've never seen anything like it. Just the emotion, and it's something I'll always carry with me.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush. Borderline erotic. With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 2 of The Morning Rush on a Fast Break Friday. Loaded guest this morning. Clay Henry, the publisher of Fox Illustrated, set to join us in just a sec. Gonna have Scott Tabor, former Razorback pitcher, 1979 College World Series team, join us in about 20 minutes. And then we'll have our Fenceman Friday picks coming up, as well as Jake Beckett at 8 o'clock this morning, and Lane Whitman coming up at about 8:30.
Yeah, no racing at Oakline, but we're going to talk about a couple other things going on around the horse racing industry, and he'll be with us at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. All right, Clay, in just a second, brought to you by Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you already have your CDL license and it doesn't have an automatic restriction, you like being home at nights with your family, you want to work with a great company that gives top pay, great benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, this is the place to go. Jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
We'll talk some baseball coming up, but Clay, I kind of want to start with the news that you texted us earlier, because I actually thought of this guy last week. I have one of our interns here, Mason Choate, is applying for the Jim Elder Good Sports Fund. For those who don't know what that is, the late Jim Elder, who's the father of Susan Elder, is one of Clay Henry's former friends, who's a friend of Clay's dad, Orville, and so many great people in the state. Did a lot of things for Arkansas sports media, and on the board of the Jim Elder Sports Fund is Mr. Harry Keene. Now, I grew up in Little Rock, and I know who Harry Keene is based on just reading his work and stuff. Clay got some unfortunate news, and I hate starting off on a bad note, but I feel like we need to mention this first. Just got some tough news about Harry this past night.
Yeah, I talked to Ellen, his wife, and they're both retired in their mid-70s, late 70s. And Harry was walking the dog and was going down the middle of the road because that was the area that was cleaned the most, and he slipped and fell. And neighbors found him and somehow got him basically drugged back to the house through the snow, and then they took him by ambulance, and he's got a broken hip. He's at St. Vincent's, probably be there for a little while. By the time I went to bed, they had, figured out that I don't think they're going to have surgery, not have to replace the hip. It was, kind of a close area where it was broken. But Harry's done a good job of not adding any fat to his diet. He's
in good shape, man.
Well, he's gotten frail, and when you fall and you're frail and you don't have any muscle, broken bones are the result. So, good shape in that he walks every day, and he takes those dogs out every day and goes for long walks in West Little Rock. But this is a time you don't need to be out walking your dogs. This is a perfect reminder of wait a week. Let's just wait a week. And I shoveled snow yesterday for about 2 hours, and I slipped and sled, and I never went down, but because of the shovel, I kind of caught my balance. But we need to be careful right now. This is not a time when the elderly need to be. And I'm elderly, Harry's elderly, but it's tough. Ellen can't go to the hospital. They have had their COVID shots, but not enough. There hasn't been enough time for it to all kick in so that she would be able to visit Harry. So their son Petey, who's golf teaching pro, I think at Country Club of Arkansas. I think that might be right.
Mm-hmm.
He's with Harry, and I'm sure I'm going to talk to Harry. Harry's like my brother, and we've known each other since I was probably 12 or 13, the best I can remember, and we've worked together. And he was at AP, I was at the Conway paper, sending in high school stuff, and it's just gone on. And when we started Hogs Illustrated, the first thing I did was drive and spend the night with Harry and Ellen and convince Harry that he needed to write columns for us. And he did up until last summer, wrote his last column. And he's been retired for a while, but it's he's at St. Vincent. Somebody wants to write him a card, and please have some sarcasm about the way he walks his dog, because he'll appreciate it.
Well, I can, you know him a lot better than anybody else, but I'm sure he's laying there pondering, what have I done in my golf season coming up? Because no one loves golf more than Harry King, and this is probably
that's true.
Probably past his mind is this hip healing, and and they're not going to do surgery. It's not a hip replacement. Is going to affect his golf game. So I just knowing Harry the little bit I do, he's probably as frustrated about that as anything.
Well, the sad part is that he hasn't played much golf in the last 2 or 3 years, and I've Frank Thomas, Stevens, and I've kind of plotted some trips, and the weather is messed us up every time. But I know what he's worried about. That who's going to walk those dogs, and he did it about 4 times a day, and bless his heart, he's going to get over this, but it's not going to be much fun, and he's going to he is a sarcastic, dry person, and he's going to moan and groan a lot, and that's okay.
Yeah, and he'll get a lot of chance to watch horse racing. That's what's one of his other passions.
That.
He loves the horses.
He likes that. Yeah.
So he'll be watching a lot of TVG or something. All right, so we're hoping Harry heals up fast. I've always appreciated the fact that when we started the Morning Rush 15 or so years ago, 2006, because of your connection and my connection with you, Harry was one of our first guests every Friday, and for many, many years, Harry was on this show every Friday to talk about the biggest Razorback headlines, and I'll never forget it.
There's a certain group from Arkansas of journalists that are just top shelf writers, reporters. He's right at the top. He's in Sportscasters, Sports Writers Hall of Fame. I put my dad, Jim Bailey, and Harry King. They're in a category all by themselves. The rest of us are just wannabes. Yeah. And he could write more in 1,000 words than I can in 10,000 words. So that's a gift, and he's. I'll give a report on our website periodically the next few days just to keep up with Harry, because I know people love him.
I guarantee if he was listening to this conversation now, he'd say, "Guys, shut up and move on. People are going to think I'm dead." That's
about it.
What he would say.
You did a good job with that, Tommy. Yeah, and I want to move on at that point too, because I got a problem with the way Ty opened this segment. I always do. And there's somebody on Facebook that it's probably your dad, Ty, is like, be easy on Ty. Well, I was like, well, why? Why? I mean, I don't have to. And he just said that we're going to have a bunch of loaded guests today. And I I don't think
You don't think
Scott
they're drunk?
Tabor or Jake Beckett are loaded at all. I mean,
Okay.
I've never
Now
been
you-
around them, and they were loaded.
You, on the other
Yeah,
hand,
you're drunk.
you, on the other hand, might be a different.
I might
story.
be loaded. I'm loaded with coffee this morning.
And,
yeah.
and you're loaded with sarcasm as well. All right, Scott Tabor coming up. It's baseball season, and it all begins tomorrow. It's supposed to have started today, but we're going to talk some baseball with Scott Tabor coming up. And you mentioned Jake Beckett. He'll be with us in about an hour here on the Morning Rush. We're brought to you by Wheels RV. RV show pricing already underway at Wheels in Springdale, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49. And they have lifetime warranties on every new unit they sell, and they only sell the top brands. Grand Design, Forest River, the new solar-powered Vibe, Alliance Fifth Wheels, KZ, and Sportsman's what you'll find there. So get the lifetime warranty, everything you need, top-shelf service department, special deals on parts and service pricing. It's all for you at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, it's opening weekend for Arkansas baseball. Scott Tabor next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback tight end Ben Cleveland, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best deals on hot tubs and endless pools in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas is at Burton Pools and Spas. Achieve your health and wellness goals in 2021 with a fantasy spa starting at just $28.95 with 28 selections to choose from. Or the endless pool fitness systems. They give you boundless fitness with swimming year-round. Delivered, installed, and ready to use from Burton Pools and Spas. Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and in Northwest Arkansas. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it in an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, and I want to help you get a great deal on a great car. So I'm making it easy with prices up to $3,113 below retail on the best selection of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in months. These are late model, low mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs that have been handpicked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. You just can't buy a better pre-owned vehicle. And right now you can save with prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my Tax Max program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
In the mood for a top shelf night, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of their delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Garrison in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
A chicken wing is just a flavor missile covered in awesomeness. And at Buffalo Wild Wings, we're locked and loaded with 26 sauces and seasonings aimed right at your face. So whether you're gearing up for the sweet tang of honey barbecue, Magma Hot Blazing Carolina Reaper, or new zesty lemon pepper sauce, get ready, because your mouth's in the blast zone. 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Matt for maybe the win. Oh, the follow is good. Arkansas in overtime.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Got to talk to former Razorback baseball player Scott Tabor coming up in about 10 minutes, but do want to touch on this Arkansas basketball team with Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, coming up.
Hey, real quick before we dive into this basketball game for a minute, I want to tell you about Pradco and the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr., the best lure for duplicating small schools of shad. Can be worked from the top water column down to the bottom, so whether you're in a bass tournament or you're just having some fun on the weekend trying to find those white bass or stripers on the lake, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. helps you catch them. Get it at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. from Pradco.
Now, Clay, I've had a couple reach out to me, couple Morning Rush, ESPN Arkansas listeners that want you to join Trusting the Process. So before we get into basketball, are you still going to want money for that conversation? Because I'm not paying you.
Oh, he's trying to charge you?
That's what Clay said.
Oh.
I'm not paying him. But
I'm sorry, I lost the connection. I can't hear you.
We're just gonna...
This new internet is not working the way I thought it would. What did he ask, Tommy?
He said, "Do you want to
say that I was going to do something for free?"
No.
Oop, I lost the connection again. What was that?
He was asking if you wanted to spend an hour one-on-one with Ty for some intimate conversation.
Sure, Ty. This will be you've got.
I don't think he knows what he's asking for. I don't
sure,
think he knows what he's getting into.
This will be fun. So it will be.
You feel the sarcasm oozing.
It will be.
This
no,
program.
I will enjoy it. You may not. But if you're asking me to do it, yeah, I'll do it, buddy.
This one may get me to listen.
So, as it stands on Friday morning, February the 19th at 7:17, Clay Henry is accepting the invite to join Trusting the Process.
I think it's
week.
on the record right now.
Next
week.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I don't think you're going to like it, but you know it's going to be.
What is that? What is that? Okay, do this.
It's going to be nails on the chalkboard for you.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to touch RD and Mike Irwin and ask if they think I did a good job in researching and asking questions. And then you can make your decision if you want to berate me during the interview or not. Because I actually did spend a considerable amount of time putting together a good list of questions, not just for them, but for Nikki this past week, for Phil Elson, and for others. Like I genuinely think this would be a good conversation that you would actually enjoy if you gave it a worthwhile chance.
Are you suggesting that I don't always give things a worthwhile shot?
I think when it comes to one Ty Richardson, you just associate or assume something's certain times when it comes to
Ty. I told you I would do it, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
We'll have a good time, and there may be some barbs there somewhere, but that's okay. You need that for your growth and your maturity. You need a little of that. It should not be
toughen him up.
Yeah.
What's the phrase? You don't swing low, you swing high. So I should be delighted by that because Clay Henry's trying to swing high at me. Is that the?
No. I'm gonna bring you up the right way. We still. Phil Elson and I have talked a long time about this off the air and what we have expectations for you.
Okay.
And we're not going to let you fall below them. We're just going to keep, we're going to keep pulling you up, and all of this will be in your bank of knowledge of how to conduct yourself. As in 20 years from now, you're going to say, "Man, I'm a lot different than I was back there when Clay and Phil were really trying to help me."
Yeah.
When does the hazing portion of the trial end? Because this isn't Clay Henry saying these hands don't haze. Clay is very open about the hazing process.
I'll just tell you, forever is a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Clay's just giving you a lot of good material you need to remember for when they ask you to speak at his funeral. So all these stories that you can tell many years from now, that's what he's giving you.
I think I could deliver a pretty stellar speech at the funeral if I make it to Clay, because there's a good
Clay
chance
may outlive you.
Clay could be giving a speech at my funeral, depending on how much I keep eating and doing other stuff. So, hey, we'll move on for this, Clay. I appreciate you accepting the invite. And
just give me a little notice, and we'll make it happen.
Okay, I can't wait. All right, real quick before we do talk with Scott Tabor, former Razorback baseball player, 1979 College World Series team. Guys, I'm expecting them to go to College Station and extend their winning streak to 8 games. And I know we got our Fence Man Friday picks coming up. We'll dive more into depth about that. But, Clay, one of the discussions we were having earlier is just the prowess that we've seen from these freshmen, whether it's Moses Moody, Devo Davis, Jalen Williams. And I know Moses had the most accolades heading into the season as a high school senior, coming from Montverde, being one of the more highly recruited players in high school basketball. But for Devo Davis and Jalen Williams, they've done it different ways, but as of late, especially these last couple games in SEC play, those two have been rock solid.
Yeah, it's been it's been a lot of growth in a short period of time for all three of those guys. And what I really like to see when I watch them is that they're having fun playing and they enjoy the game. They're not afraid of the big minutes, the big points. You see. Jalen after he draws a charge, and he's just like, man, that was like eating 3 of my mom's apple pies. That was so much fun, and just everything about these guys tells you that they treasure their minutes as a Razorback. That's a
good way to put it.
Yeah, they are excited to put that hog on, and then they go out and play with passion. They're still learning. They still make mistakes, and you see them as like, well, why do they do that? Well, they're freshmen, but they're playing in roles that usually you don't see freshmen play. And to have 3 of them on the court at the same time and to play great at crunch time like they have is really exciting for the future. Now, Moses, he's one and done. I mean, everybody's talking about him being a top 10 pick, and it's not just because of how many points or how many rebounds he gets. He just really understands the game, high basketball IQ, and his defense is really good. And that's what you like about all 3 of these guys. Is generally freshmen, they understand I get the ball, I shoot it. They don't understand defense and the intricacies of a Musselman defense. But these guys do.
Highest basketball IQ for a true freshman Razorback since who comes to mind? I mean, you watch this.
We
kid.
never saw we haven't seen too many freshmen play the minutes that he has. I'd probably say Scotty Thurman.
Okay.
Because Scotty, when he rolled in, he was mature. And as a freshman, he went to Arizona, and I was at that game, and he scored 30. Then he went, a couple of days later, went to Columbia, Missouri, and scored 30. You just think about that. As a true freshman, in the first month of your first season, scoring 30 against Lute Olson's zone, and then going up and Norm Stewart had a great defensive team at that particular time. Anthony Peeler and some others. And he went up there and scored 30 on those guys. And so none of them have done that yet. Just remember that's the – now, Scotty wasn't as good a defensive player as either one of these guys. I'm talking about the guards, Devo and Moses. So that's one thing that they're ahead of Scott. Scotty couldn't cover, and that's why he didn't make it in the NBA, because he could score. He could shoot it. But he did not have the quickness or the ability to play defense. Now, he did get a lot of steals because he played the passing lanes, but he couldn't just head up guard somebody. But these guys they're a lot of fun to watch. And, I see flashes of Devo, and I think Sidney. And then I see a little bit later, and I think Alvin Robertson, with the speed and the aggressiveness on defense. And then I see something else, and I see this, and Muss had a good way of explaining it, slitheriness. I don't know if that's a word, but, he reminds me of Anthony Peeler, who's 6'3", 6'4", and was left-hander, and he had that slithery, snake way to get through the lane and somehow lean through people and get the ball up off the glass. And he didn't make all those, but he's making more and more, it seems like, every time.
All right, we'll come back to this weekend's basketball game at Texas A&M, get some more conversation on that later on. I want to pivot to baseball now, brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith. 28 models to choose from, starting at $28.95 when it comes to hot spring spas. So whatever you're looking for, whether it's a corner spa for your patio or a deluxe spa that can seat 7, 8, 9 people, they have those for you at Burton Pools and Spas. I'll also ask about the endless pool fitness systems at Burton's. Read about them, study them, get to know them online at burtonpools.com. See them for yourself in Springdale and in Fort Smith. That's burtonpools.com.
As we welcome in former Razorback Scott Tabor, pitcher on the 1979 College World Series team, the first one for the Arkansas Razorbacks in Norm DeBryan. Scott, it's been a while, man. Appreciate you once again joining us on the Morning Rush this baseball season.
Thank you. It's great to be back. Seems like 20 years since we played baseball, but it's finally back.
Yeah, we got to do this a couple of times last year, and then the pandemic shut down the season, so it has literally been a while since we've chatted, and obviously we're already off with weather, which normally affects your February schedule, pushing things back, and the season will begin what we'd hoped to have been today, tomorrow, with 3 teams I know you're very familiar with here to open the season.
Yeah, looking at that lineup, it's like the old Southwest Conference tournament. You got Texas Tech in there. Texas Tech, when I was playing, they were the best hitting team in the league every year. Texas Tech and TCU. I guess TCU's in there also. So they're going to always face some good bats when they go down there. It'll all come down to pitching.
So the pitching question that has arisen from most fans this season as a starter this past year, Connor Nolan not listed as a starter in this first 3-game stretch. And I know there's a lot of season left. Things can change from here and there. We've seen that not just with Arkansas baseball, but numerous baseball teams over the year. Were you surprised, Scott, that Nolan was not listed as a starter for this these opening games this weekend?
Just from what I read and what you could possibly keep up with coming through fall ball, which is where everything is laid out for the spring. That's your tryout every year. It's different every year. He wasn't having great outings. You don't know if it was lack of preparation, what he did over the summer, if he had a little injury, or if the other guys just caught up, because you always have to be looking over your shoulder in every sport. And that's one thing I've always told kids, and I'm coaching them, or my son, the same way. You can't sit still and keep your job, because the guys behind you are working hard, and they're going to pass you up if you're trying to sit still. So I'm not – you're kind of surprised, but not really. just by virtue of the fact, like I said, that it's an ever-changing game, and you've got to keep improving and adding pitches to your repertoire and getting better at what you already had. He started as a freshman. He had great stuff coming out of high school. Comes from a great program in Greenwood, and so other kids have gotten up there and developed with all the facilities that they have in Arkansas, and it's good to see. It's great for competition.
So when you look at, you mentioned starting as a freshman, and one that easily comes to mind on this year's team is infielder Robert Moore. What kind of growth should fans expect watching him as a young player, blossom and develop? He yesterday was one of 2 Razorbacks nominated for the Golden Spikes. There's 55 players around the country. It's baseball's biggest honor, him and Christian Franklin. What kind of growth should we expect out of him as a young player moving into this next season?
I think what you're going to see, he was already had all the intangibles, even as a 17-year-old kid when he was up here last year. I guess he was 17. I'm pretty sure he was, which is so young, and physically he hadn't even started to grow yet. He didn't start to fill out. I've seen pictures of him and videos of him, and he just looks different. He's not as wiry as he was. He's starting to fill out and get his big boy muscles, and his forearms are bigger and his wrists are bigger, and all the things that add a little bit of power and keep that little weak ground ball to shortstop turn into a line drive to left field. He's always had the quickness and always had the hand-eye coordination, and his arm has gotten better and better. And they're going to see great things from him. I think this year people should really, really pay attention, because you may be seeing one of the better infielders ever to come through here this year. So it'll be interesting to watch.
An all-SEC preseason guy, and it's just what he was able to do initially. You saw glimpses of it last year, and I've got a couple sources I talked to in the program, Scott, and they just say the development side, not just him, but there's some other guys on this team. One of the things I've heard, Scott, and you can tell me if this is a good source or not, is this team could just hit the crap out of the ball from practice, from the different guys I've spoken to. There's just going to be a lot of aluminum on the ball this year. What do you think about the hitting prowess of this team in 2021?
Same as you. You can only go by what you've heard, and I know, Ty, you know people, so you probably have a better idea than I do. I kind of have to read little snippets that I can pick up here and there. And if you have a great hitting team, you're never out of the game. So, great pitching, you can say, well, yeah, our guy only gave up 2 runs, but if you can't hit and you lose 2-1, it doesn't matter. But if you have great hitting, it comes down to the 8th and 9th inning, and it's a 1-run game, or you're even down a couple of runs. Teams that have good hitters all the way up and down the lineup, not just 3, 4, and 5, or the top 4 or 5 guys. The bottom of the lineup can get on base, and they can drive some runs in. You're never out of a game. I played for a couple of teams that it was a joy to pitch for, because you could be not having your best day and still come out smelling like a rose. You don't really want to look at how many runs you gave up, but you end up having a W by your name. And so that's what it's all about, is winning games. Some games are going to be won with pitching. Some games are going to be won with hitting. And if Arkansas can tie those two together, and that's where you get a championship season. It's when all those things come together. And so it'll be interesting to see.
One of the best baseball websites out there, D1 Baseball, had their season preview, and Kendall Rogers, Aaron Fitt, and I think Mark Etheridge all picked the Florida Gators to win. Well, one guy, Mr. Mike Rooney, has the Arkansas Razorbacks winning the national championship in a preseason prediction. And I know it's hard to quantify. This is we know how super regionals and regionals can sometimes go, but Scott, based on what you know about this baseball team, is that a legitimate statement that this team has a shot at a national title this year?
I think here going forward, and it has been the last several years, the Razorbacks have always got a shot. It's always going to come down to, and I know I say it over and over and over, but your pitching staff is what's going to win you a national championship, and not just a couple of guys. You've got to have depth. Because when you get into tournament play, you get into the end of the season tournament play, your leash is shortened. So if you're a starter, or if you get in trouble, in the regionals or super regionals, you got guys behind you that can come in and slam the door and get you a couple of innings. Another guy gets you an inning. Another guy gets you an inning, get to your closer and win the game. And so that you go through the long grind of the season just to get to that point, and you want to make sure all the pieces are in place when you get to that point. And I think Arkansas this year, just going down and looking at the depth in the pitching staff, and a lot of these guys are names we barely heard last year as that aren't really even popping up right this year, like Elijah Trest. Guy's got a phenomenal arm. They were just so high on him last year. He's back. Jackson Wiggins is one of the freshmen they have that they're just so excited about him. And everything you read is he brings the heat with no effort. So there's a lot of guys that it's going to be interesting to see what role they fall into, even the starting rotation. If this starting rotation is great, and you look at their stats and their velocities and their breaking pitches and what have you, it all comes down to pitchability. I read an article by Clay, and he has a term, pitchability. And pitchability is a fantastic term. I've always just called it pitching versus throwing. But pitchability really explains it. Can these guys pitch? They can blow up the radar gun, but can they actually pitch? And that'll be played out through the season, who can do it consistently, because we've always talked about, trust. Coaches knowing what they have when they put you out there. They know you're going to go 5 innings, 6 innings. Back when I played, they had to know you were going to go 9 because there wasn't a whole lot in the back end. Just different, and they want to know what they're getting when they put you out there. So as it plays out, and it'll take about a month. A lot of midweek games, as many games as they can get in. Take about a month getting into conference play to see how things are going to lay out for the postseason. So I think we always have a chance, and I think this year, just on paper, looks like we have a great chance.
All right, ought to be fun starting this weekend. We'll do it every Friday, normally at 8 o'clock. Scott Tabor, former Razorback, with us here to break down baseball from the weekend. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the games. We'll talk next Friday.
Enjoyed it, guys. Appreciate it.
Scott Tabor with us here on the Morning Rush. Clay, you were listening into the conversation. One of the things, if you remember, I know not much is remembered from last season, so few games, but Dave Van Horn took his team down to Texas. It didn't go well last year down there in Houston.
Understatement.
Yeah, it went 0 for 3. What do you think his message is? Do they even bring that up? How do you avoid repeating what happened a year ago down in the Lone Star State? I know it's a different venue, but you don't want the same result.
Yeah, the good thing about this team is that he probably doesn't have to bring it up because they all remember it. These are the same guys, basically. You take out Kerstad and Martin, but the rest of the team, and you've got 4 preseason first-team All-SEC guys in Casey Opitz, Christian Franklin, Robert Moore, and Matt Goodhart. They're probably going to hit 1, 2, 3, 5. I think Brandon Webb probably will hit 4th. But these guys were that's the top 5 guys all played in that last year, and Christian Franklin struggled in that particular weekend, and then came back and really took off and kind of figured out what he was doing wrong and some swing and misses. But it's you've got a few young players that haven't been in those situations. I think in right field you're going to see Caden Wallace, and I know Scott Tabor and I talked yesterday about Wallace, and he's just really gifted. A lot of power, a lot of ability, and he's the only true freshman that's going to be in the starting lineup from word go. This is a very good team, but what makes this a strong Arkansas team is going to be evident in all 5 of the other teams that are at this tournament. Everybody in college baseball had the same deal where the draft was 5 rounds, and 2 things happened. Their older players weren't drafted, and their incoming freshmen that were, everybody signs 2 or 3 that you don't think are going to get to campus. Well, they got to campus this year. So it's going to be these 6 teams is going to be like watching 6 Class AA minor league teams play. The pitching, the velocity, the ability in the field. Everybody's got some guys that didn't even make the lineup that can pitch hit that would be starting in most years. A lot of fun to watch this weekend.
All right, it all gets underway. You can hear the games right here on the radio. No TV for this weekend as Arkansas gets underway with the 2021 baseball season. Phil Elson with the play-by-play call for you from Arlington this weekend. Hey, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort, our favorite place to hang out. This will be a great weekend to watch some basketball, to look at the White River. It's going to start thawing out and warming up, so you can get out and really enjoy a great weekend. If this isn't the weekend for you, hey, we get it. There's still time to enjoy the winter rates at Gaston's. 40% off when you stay 2 or more nights. I love this time of year at Gaston's because all their cabins come with a great big stone fireplace, and you can sit back and enjoy really a great time in the evenings and first thing in the mornings with a great fire there at Gaston's. Call and book your reservation for 2 or more nights. Get one of their great guides to take you out and show you what the White River is all about. 870-431-5202 for Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
We had 2 people over here cooking mess out in the back barn behind the house.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
$50 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
At Franco Furniture for the month of February, Franco Furniture is ready to deal on cash or finance sales. Just come on in and tell us you heard this ad on ESPN 95.3 and receive huge discounts. Franco Furniture stands behind our furniture with service after the sale and carry as many made-in-the-USA brands as possible. We are family-owned and offer in-store no-credit check financing. Franco Furniture, 405 4th Street in Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Hey, Grounds Guys.
Hey, what?
Can you get rid of these weeds in my yard?
You betcha. The Grounds Guys 6-step weed and feed service will eliminate those unsightly weeds, keeping your lawn green and pristine all year long. Mention this ad and get your first application for 50% off, and you'll notice the results right away. Call 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-GUYS. Or go to groundsguys.com for all your lawn care needs in Northwest Arkansas and the Fort Smith area. The Grounds Guys. Leave the yard work to us.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, "The sweetest fruits of life come from serving others." And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Hood with Gibson down there. Ooping! Oh! Raise the roof, Arkansas!
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
We're going to get into our Fence Man Friday picks coming up here on the Morning Rush. Currently, Sean leads the way with 45 points. Tommy is right behind him with 43. I'm at 41. And Clay is at 39. So as we get ready, as we always do, for a Fence Man Friday.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
All right, we're going to do the Arkansas basketball game last. Got a couple other basketball games that we're going to do here on a Fenceman Fridays. We welcome in Sean to the program this morning. Sean, what's up, man? How you doing this Friday?
Man, I'm trying to keep everybody safe on the road.
You're trying to thaw out this morning, aren't you?
Yeah. We've kind of let the crews chill so they keep them big rigs and stuff off the road so no one gets hurt.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, big slate of games to pick this weekend. Fire away, Ty.
All right, Texas Tech at Kansas. This is going to be 1 o'clock game on ESPN. Red Raiders, Jayhawks. Sean, you got the lead, so I'll let you start. You going to go Bill Self, or you going to go Chris Beard and Texas Tech?
I'm going to take on some Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. You know what? As much as this probably shames Rita, I'm also going to go with the Red Raiders on the road. Allen Fieldhouse is just not the same without, 17,000 people in there. Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, all these Blue Bloods are struggling this year. I'm going to go Red Raiders.
I hope this is the only win the Red Raiders get this weekend is in basketball. I'll go with the Red Raiders. Hope they don't win any of the games down in Arlington in baseball. So I hope they get a basketball win this weekend, not any baseball wins.
Clay, where are you going on this?
I'll pick my old golfing buddy from my Tulsa days. I'll go with Kansas and Bill Self.
Okay, so you'll be on an island there. So you got
That's
point.
all right.
You got some.
I'm dead last. I'm swimming uphill.
Well, I was going to say that's. I was going to say it could bode well for you if they end up getting the win. Next game, guys, the Auburn Tigers, the Tiger game taking on the LSU Tigers. 3 o'clock game on ESPN. We're going to take cheating Bruce Pearl. You're going to take cheating Will Wade and LSU. Clay, where do you want to go on this?
I'll just go with the cheater. I'm sorry. Oh, I got to pick one of them.
You got to pick one of them.
I say LSU.
LSU. I'm also going to take the LSU Tigers. Big win for them against the Tennessee Vols last Saturday. They also beat Ole Miss this past Wednesday night. I'm going to take LSU. Clay, where are you going to go on this? Or excuse me, Tommy, where are you going to go on this?
I'll take the Tigers.
All right.
Can I slip?
Auburn
Can I slip in with that?
Auburn or LSU?
I was hoping to get away with that. LSU for me.
Okay. Sean, you want Auburn or LSU in this basketball game?
Well, I'm gonna join the boat with you guys. We're all gonna be on the LSU Tiger boat.
All right, Tommy. I guess we all are.
All four.
So
we took the Bengal Tigers instead of the Ward whatever.
The War Eagle, Tiger, Hawk.
The Bayou
WDE.
Tigers.
Yeah.
All right, biggest game of the weekend, the Arkansas Razorbacks taking on the Texas A&M Aggies. 7 o'clock pregame coverage beginning here, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. Now, guys, we've had a couple of listeners already chime this week. They have really enjoyed syncing up their broadcast with hitthatline.com. I know a lot of you always complain about the broadcasters on the SEC Network, ESPN, CBS, pick a network. Well, you're not going to complain about the Golden Pipes of Mr. Chuck Barrett and the fun nature of Mr. Matt Zimmerman. Just a reminder, if you like that, make sure and do that because it definitely makes the game more entertaining and more fun as a Razorback fan. Tommy, I'll let you kick this one off. You going Aggies or Hogs in this one?
Arkansas's the better team. Woo Pig Sooie this weekend.
Easy pick. This is the easiest Arkansas game we've had to pick in a while, which is probably going to jinx them, but I'm still going to pick Arkansas.
Yeah, you just don't know what kind of A&M team you're getting off the layoff. Sean, where are you going with this weekend with the game?
Well, my house is divided with the A&M Arkansas stuff every time I go, but, I'm still right there with my Hogs all the way. So, we're going to Stu Pig. Here we go.
And what's the phrase, happy wife, happy life?
Mm-hmm.
Is that applicable? I
Not
don't know.
that day.
I don't know if it's applicable tomorrow, Sean. I think you might have to avoid her.
I'll watch it at a friend's house or something.
That's just smart. That's smart planning ahead. Clay, I'm assuming you're going to go Razorbacks.
We're not dealing with points, right? It's just straight up.
Just straight up.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas is the favorite. Now, not having to give any points, it's a no-brainer. Yep, Razorback all the way.
All right.
4 for 4, right?
Yep. We're all picking Arkansas on this one. So hopefully this won't be a College Game Day or SEC Nation jinx where it ends up being the opposite.
There's no such thing as a jinx. That's just in the minds of people. Yeah. There are no jinxes.
Yeah, till Carl Ravitch reminded everybody that Connor Vanover was 19-19 at free throw line the other night, and then clank. Clank.
Phil doesn't believe in the broadcaster's jinx.
Yeah. No, I don't either.
And Clay doesn't.
Jinx.
Do you believe in one?
No, not really. But it's fun just to rile some folks up when you say it happened after making 19 in a row. All right, call the fence, man. I know that this cold weather slowed y'all down, but doesn't mean you're not going to get out there and still build great fences. And might have some folks listening this morning, Sean, that's it's got some fence repairs they're going to need after this round of winter weather.
Yes. I'm sure we're going to see some of that. Some of the ice might have made some tree limbs and stuff falling down your fence. We can get out there and get you fixed up pretty quick. Well, I'll say pretty quick. We're fully geared up. I think even the guys are going to start working this weekend now that the roads are cleared and we can actually see the ground. That's part of the problem with this big ass snow. We can't see the ground. We can't see where all the markers are, stuff like that. So we got to let this melt off so we go dig some holes and put some fence posts in.
Well, Clay, if you need someone to dig some post holes with post hole diggers, Clay's your guy.
I'm really good sitting up on a backhoe or something, Sean.
I don't think you and heavy equipment go together, Clay.
Well, we'll go rent you one of them heated little skid steers with a cab and the driller on the front of it, and we'll just let you get after it.
You're speaking my language, Sean. Thank you.
All right, 782-3936. Call the fence man. If you need a new fence, you need repairs to your fence, powered automatic gates, controlled access systems to get in and out at work, with around your gates, the fence man does anything you can imagine when it comes to fencing, gates, or anything involving a fence. 782-3936 for the fence man. He ain't afraid of no work. Sean, stay warm out there, and we'll talk next Friday.
Thank you, guys. I do appreciate you. And I probably said something on the radio this morning I probably shouldn't have, so I apologize if I offended anybody. But thank y'all for the time. I appreciate you.
Well, you didn't pick Kansas at least. So.
Yeah, that's an area. Hey, it's okay, Sean. I say stuff that offends people every day, including my co-host here on the Morning Rush. It's okay. It happens. All right, coming up, we're going to talk to former Razorback football player Jake
we all
Beckett.
picked LSU, so that's offensive, right?
Yeah.
That's offensive right there, just picking LSU.
That is, too. Jake got a chance to play against the LSU Tigers, also got a chance to play in the National Football League. What was crazy to me is we're dealing with so much cold in Arkansas, and Jake brought up earlier this week, the coldest he's ever been, not in Foxborough, not in one of the visiting venues that he had to travel in the NFL, the Liberty Bowl in 2009.
Single digits.
I was not at that game. I went to the Liberty Bowl back in 2015-16. But man, oh man, was that cold, apparently. From the Morning Rush listeners I've talked to, frigid, the wind coming off the river, nothing like it. So we'll talk to Jake about that and the Arkansas Fun coming up on the Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a soap opera star.
Gracious me, my car has storm damage and I've had to file a claim. Could it possibly get worse? Will my claims team leave me for someone else? Someone less intense?
No. Actually, when you file a claim with Geico, you get your own dedicated claims team who promises to stay with you throughout the process.
Oh, I've never known such loyalty. I can't wait for the second season.
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, and I want to help you get a great deal on a great car. So I'm making it easy with prices up to $3,113 below retail on the best selection of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in months. These are late model, low mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs that have been handpicked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. You just can't buy a better pre-owned vehicle. And right now you can save with prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my TaxMax program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
What's new with the Golf Nut? Paying G425 woods, hybrids, and irons, along with the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls. Keep your game sharp on the TrackMan and Foresight indoor simulation base. Make sure you call ahead for an appointment. The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes, apparel, and accessories in stock. Everything you need to complete your game. As always, don't forget to check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Lots of sunshine today. Our high this afternoon in the middle to upper 30s. Tonight, partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the mid-teens. Saturday, we're back to sunshine. Our high in the low to mid-40s, and then a chance of rain shower Sunday. Highs close to 45 degrees. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The Primetime Preps Podcast, the only Arkansas high school sports podcast. Check it out on hitthatline.com. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Knocked out by Jake Beckett and recovered by Arkansas.
Guess who? Jake Beckett. The next Beckett. Jake Beckett.
Jake Beckett, the captain of the defense.
Jake Beckett with the sack. Here comes Beckett. Down goes Shaw. The ball is out.
Hey, this is former Razorback Jake Beckett, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
It's always good to see former Razorbacks doing great things off the field. And speaking of doing great things off the field, our next guest, Jake Beckett, is doing exactly that. Jake, we appreciate your time this morning, man. I know you've been really busy. The story of how the Arkansas Fund got off the ground is awesome, and you can find all of Jake's stuff at thearkansasfund.com. You've got some connections with former Patriots players, and Dave Portnoy, who's the founder and CEO of Barstool Sports, big-time Patriot fan, and they started the Barstool Fund. Well, you wanted to do something kind of a smaller scale, help out the small businesses within the state of Arkansas. How did this all shake out, and when did you decide this was something that you wanted to try and get done here in Arkansas?
Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on. I guess the genesis of the Arkansas Fund was when Portnoy and the Barstool Fund made a donation to a dry cleaner right here in Little Rock, Arkansas, Shin's Dry Cleaners. And I saw the reaction from the owner when he found out that he was going to be receiving those funds, and it really made it hit home to me just how perilous this situation is, and the pandemic and the loss of businesses for so many small business owners across the state of Arkansas. And so I thought to myself, hey, if Dave Portnoy up in Boston is helping a small business in Arkansas, you know what? It's time for me to step up and do something for Arkansas small businesses. And so essentially I've created an Arkansas-specific version of the Barstool Fund. It's a nonprofit small business relief fund specifically for Arkansas small businesses. We've already raised over $100,000, and we've made distributions all over the state, and we'll continue to do so just as long as we can keep raising money and helping Arkansas small businesses and their employees.
Jake, those unfamiliar with Barstool Sports, it's a company kind of founded in the Boston and northeastern area. It's kind of taken over kind of the millennials and what a lot of sports goers do. They've raised almost $40 million for small businesses, plus $36 million right now. Jake, you guys are well on your way as well, have raised over $100,000 so far. do you guys have a set goal, or is it just to get and support as many small businesses as possible?
Well, it's just as you said, we want to raise as much money as we can, as quickly as we can, so we can get it out the door. I mean, hopefully the fund does not have a long lifespan because hopefully we can move past the pandemic and end these restrictions and get life back to approaching normality. But until then, these small businesses need relief. I mean, I'm sure you see as much as I do. It seems like every day there are reports of small businesses across the state that we know and love that have had to close their doors.
Yeah.
And I've talked to a lot of these small business owners as we've done our first distributions, and they're hanging on by a thread. And we're just, if we can keep them in the fight for 1 more month, 2 more months, just to give them a lifeline to hang on. I mean, a lot of these owners, they haven't taken a salary in months. They continue to pay their employees, and they're staying in business because they love their customers and they want to serve their community.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, in the line of work we do, we see a lot of industries and a lot of different categories, and anything involving travel, anything involving tourism. I've got a friend that has a travel agency, still a full service travel agency. There's not many of those left, but they do a great job. His business has taken as hard a punch as any. You can imagine, because they get paid when people go on vacation. Well, there haven't been a lot of vacations this last year. We all think about restaurants, and it's not just the restaurant owner. It's all those people you just talked about a minute ago that are there working for either tips, gratuities, or hourly wages that, not only has the pandemic hit them, then this last week the weather's hit them. So this relief, Jake, won't help just the business stay in business and keep their doors open, but keep a lot of people employed as well.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to focus our relief efforts on small businesses that are keeping employees on the payroll. And you hit the nail on the head. I mean, not only have they been affected by the pandemic over the past year, but they've been doubly affected this week in particular with the winter storm. Yeah. So they've really had to close their doors for an additional 4 or 5 days, which, as you well know, small businesses, they operate on razor-thin margins, even in the best of times, in the best of circumstances. So we want to raise as much money as we can to get it out to help as many small businesses as we can and their employees.
It's a great effort that you're spearheading here, and I want to come back and ask some more questions. But I want to kind of catch up with you a little bit. You were on the show a while back. In fact, one of our more enjoyable conversations we had was when you and Tyler Wilson were on together with us at one time, and that was a lot of fun. But you were in the middle of Ranger School the last we talked, and of course, I mean, you just kind of a fairy tale storybook type life you've lived so far through 30 years. Played for the Razorbacks, played for the New England Patriots, an Army Ranger. Kind of catch us up. What's going on now? I saw you tweeted out a while ago that the military is something that you're pivoting into this next phase of your life here over this year.
Yeah, that's correct, and thank you for that. I've been truly blessed, and as you alluded to, I ended my active duty term of military service at the end of January, and for the last couple of weeks, I've really been focusing on the Arkansas Fund, and I will continue to do so. And it's a privilege and a pleasure to give back to a state that's given me and my family so much over the years. I love Arkansas, and it's been great to move back and get involved in the community and the state.
Jake, Clay Henry, I'm gonna transition into football here, if that's okay. I look back through Razorback history, and you see victories when there's a pass rush and there's quarterback sacks. Your teams and your sack totals, and you go, find Jermaine Petty, or you find a Lloyd Phillips, or you find, the guys that when you hit the quarterback, good things happen. When you watch this era of Arkansas football, what has to happen to get those sack totals back up, Jake?
Well, first of all, Clay, I just got to say, a couple of months ago, I read your dad's history. I think it's the Razorbacks, the story of Arkansas football. And I got to tell you, that was one of the most enjoyable books I've ever read. Just going back through the entire history of the program. Your dad was just an amazing storyteller. I'm sad that I didn't get to know him very well. I was a little bit too young to really read him when he was with the paper and writing all of his books. But that was a true privilege to read that book and just kind of dive into the history of the program and learn more about my grandfather's era and all that. But like you said, football is not super complicated on defense. If you can rush the passer with 4 down linemen and not have to blitz, then it's going to be really hard to move the ball down the field and score a lot of points. So I've always said that the key for Arkansas to be successful, we have to get a little bit lucky and hit on some in-state talent. Back in mine and Tyler's era, we had a lot of 2 and 3 star and even low 4-star recruits that were from the state of Arkansas. Guys like Jerry Franklin, Greg Childs, Jarius Wright, DJ Williams, who go up there and they overachieve. And I think part of that is because they grew up wanting to be Razorbacks. And not only do they put in that extra effort behind the scenes, but they also motivate other guys in the locker room who might not be from Arkansas. And so it's not something that's going to show up on a recruiting report, but I think we do have to really focus on in-state talent and get guys up on the hill who bleed Razorback red, and it truly means something to them to wear the uniform. But overall, yeah, you're right. If we can get pressure on the quarterback with 4 down linemen, that's something we did in 2010, 2011. And if we can keep doing that, I love what Coach Odom's done with the defense so far. And if they can get pressure on the quarterback without blitzing, then it's going to be hard to score.
Jake Beckett with us here on the Morning Rush. Jake, you mentioned the in-state talent, the guys that you got a chance to play with. So this 2022 Arkansas football recruiting class is pretty loaded. And with Sam Pittman coming in, he brings in the top 30 recruiting class. Doesn't even have a full recruiting cycle. He's at one point like 117th in the country. He gets it all the way in the top 30. This past class is top 25. There haven't been a lot of top 20 recruiting classes in the history of Arkansas football since recruiting rankings started. You're a guy that you got to play with some of these guys that were highly rated, some guys were lowly rated, and yet guys could play. How much do you buy into recruiting rankings with services like 24/7 Sports and Rivals when it comes to justifying how good a football team can actually be?
I think it tells part of the story. You got to give Coach Pittman a lot of credit. He was known as a great recruiter as an assistant coach, and I think he's doing a really great job in his first couple of recruiting classes. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. So I'd say it's a little bit of both. You want your class to be highly rated, but then again, it's not an exact science in projecting how well some of these players are going to turn out to be as college football players. Obviously, there's probably a higher success rate when you're recruiting exclusively 4- and 5-star athletes, but you've seen the numbers. There's so many players in the NFL. I saw it personally. Guys who were 2- and 3-star athletes who went to college and just decided to really buy in and develop themselves as players and become leaders in the locker room. So, I mean, I'm not going to say don't go out and get as many 4- and 5-stars as you can, but you have to. I think that if it comes down to a marginal, 3-star Arkansas prospect, I would go for a guy like that who's in state who might develop into that player simply because it means something to him to wear the Razorback uniform.
Jake, another thing that when you look at Arkansas's football struggles that people can point to is the lack of football talent that's come out of where you grew up in Little Rock, a Little Rock Catholic guy. And what I've said, because I'm a Little Rock guy too, what I've said is the capital of your state can't be lacking football talent. But what's happened is, and they're putting more emphasis on football programs this year, a lot of the most talented athletes in your state, especially in Central Arkansas, are playing basketball. Is that going to be an issue for Sam Pittman and this football program moving forward when a lot of kids growing up and they're deciding to select just one sport to play, they're choosing basketball, especially in Central Arkansas?
Yeah, I think that's something that Coach Pittman and the staff can focus on is developing those relationships with Arkansas high school football coaches, particularly, as you said, in Central Arkansas. I think one of the things that Coach Nutt did when he first got up there was, Arkansas high school football didn't even have spring practice until Coach Nutt really emphasized that and got the state to implement that statewide in high school. And so I think that paid dividends as the years went on. We had some really strong in-state high school football talent come out, and I think part of that was a result of implementing spring practice and just Coach Nutt generating some enthusiasm among the statewide high school football coaches. So I think it's a two-way street. You've got to develop those relationships with the high school football coaches and just generate more momentum and more enthusiasm for high school ball across the state. And then you got those high school athletes, they'll want to play football. You won't have to drag them out there to the football field.
Jake, how many years did you serve our country in the Army?
3.5 years. I went to basic training in August of 2017, and then I completed my service on January 30th this year.
Well, thank you for it. So 3.5 years in the military, 4 or so-ish years with Coach Petrino, and some of that was with Nutt. But I got to – who was harder to please, Coach Petrino or the toughest instructor or drill sergeant you had in your time with the Army? Who was the hardest out of that? Who was the easier to play? Who was the hardest to please in those years of your life?
Well, I will say this. Until I went to Ranger School, I would tell you the hardest thing I ever did was a Coach Petrino scrimmage during spring ball or fall camp. I mean, I'll never forget one of our first scrimmages. Clay was probably there. It was over 200 plays or something like that.
I remember that.
And
yeah.
So, but Ranger School is a little bit of a different animal. You don't really get to eat or sleep very much. So I will say that was a little bit harder, but I'll go with this. I was very well prepared by my time under Coach Petrino and Coach Belichick.
Yeah. So the mental aspect of that you were well versed for. So
yeah.
All right.
I remember that scrimmage, Jake, because Coach Petrino called y'all up, and I scrambled for my notepad, and I thought, we're about to get an interview. I realized it was halftime.
Yeah, we were just that was the intermission.
Yeah, it's 2 for 1, 2 games in 1. All right, the Arkansas Fund, people can nominate or donate. They just need to go to the website, and this is a great way to help great local businesses, because that's who you're aiming at making a difference for, Jake. Tell people how they can get involved.
Absolutely. Go to thearkansasfund.com. You can both donate and nominate either your own small business, a small business that you work at, or if you're just a loyal customer or a small business that you love and patronize. So go to the Arkansas Fund today and help us out. And if we keep doing this and keep raising money, we can keep helping small businesses all over Arkansas. All
right, that's thearkansasfund.com, and let's catch up in a few weeks and maybe get an update on where you're at. You've got over 100,000 raised. I know you'd like to make that tenfold here in the coming weeks.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me on. Look forward to catching up soon.
Jake, really good stuff this morning, and it's always cool to see former Razorbacks accomplishing things. I say former, current, past, present, whatever. He's a Razorback through and through. We'll recap that interview coming up. And remember, you can always check it out on the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast. Hey, spring camping season is almost here, and the folks at Razorback Camper Sales are ready for you. Not only do they have a huge selection of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups, they also offer full prep and setup at no extra cost, so you can leave the lot and start camping immediately. Plus, you have access to the best service department and the best parts department in the state. The oldest family-owned RV dealer in the state of Arkansas, been doing it for over 50 years. Go check them out at the Bowdoin RV Show in Hot Springs, February 26th through the 28th.
Clay, you bring up pass rushers, and Jake was one of the best. I'll never forget in that Cotton Bowl. I guess it was, January 1, 2012, or December, whatever it was, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
The hit he put on Colin Klein from Kansas State, I was field level for when that happened. It more or less sealed the game. You hadn't had a whole lot of pass rushers like Jake Beckett since his time was done.
Yeah, the one I remember was, it was just before – the Mallet touchdown pass to beat Georgia at Athens, and Georgia, they had a chance to kind of put the game away, and Jake came through on a third down play, beat his man one-on-one, really a fine offensive tackle for Georgia, and got a quarterback sack that forced the punt, but they had a guy open, but there wasn't but a split second, and Jake was there, and that was as big a sack is the one you mentioned. But when when I think of the Beckett's, I go back to George, his grandpa, and when you think about somebody that impacted the program, he was on the 25 Little Pigs Southwest Conference Championships in 54 when I was born, so 66 years ago, and then was an insurance agent in the St. Louis area, and kept calling Jesse Branch, who was recruiting Missouri for Arkansas, about a quarterback in Missouri that he needed to come recruit, Steve Atwater, and then Gary Anderson. And George would meet Jesse at the airport, or if he was driving, we'd put him in his car and drive him and take him into the schools. And so the impact the Beckett's have made, you think about their, the Jay, Chris, Jake, whatever, all of that, 3 generations, but it's more than that. It's, the recruiting that George helped Arkansas do by identifying players and saying, this is the home, this is the house, this is the coach, helping Jesse get it done.
You've had a conversation with Bobby Petrino, and what you always refer back to is it's what he told you, I think, first inaugural season he was here. It's about hitting the quarterback and protecting the quarterback. This is one of the things that I think is a little concerning and alarming about this defense heading in to 2021. When you look in that roster, you're not as worried about the protection of the quarterback because you saw the offensive line did get better. But, Clay, when they lost Jonathan Marshall, Coates in the transfer portal, I mean, are you a little worried about what this defensive line can do pressuring the quarterback, considering that was one of their worst aspects in this past season?
First of all, I don't ever use that word because nothing about football worries me. And, when I hear fans say I'm worried about this, and it just kind of goes right over my head because I don't worry about that kind of stuff. There's real life stuff to worry about. Nothing about football worries me. I don't get angry. Nothing worries me. Those emotions aren't there for me when I'm watching a football game. There is not any doubt that the pass rush is the critical area that has to improve. But it's been that way for a while, and there's no doubt that Jermail Ashley from Tulsa was hired to help the 3-man pass rush at Arkansas. He did it at Tulsa over a 6-year period. Derek LeBlanc was hired from Kentucky to help with the pass rush, but he failed in recruiting. So the answer is not what's here right now probably. It's what's going to be here in the future with recruiting. And that's what has to improve. And you have to go get defensive ends. And I'll never forget the year that Steve Caldwell walked into the room on signing day and was grinning ear to ear because he had signed 6 defensive ends.
Yeah.
6.
Boy, and you need some more Jake Beckett's in your future when you're out on that recruiting trail. They just don't make very many like him. I'm glad he could spend some time with us this morning. Hey, if you need a COVID-19 test, Natural State Laboratories, talked to Jordan over there this morning. They're going to be open today from 8 to 1 in Fort Smith at 9201 Dallas Street. They have locations in Northwest Arkansas, Little Rock, and Hot Springs as well. 8 to 1 at Community Bible Church. And they're also going to have special hours tomorrow from 8 to 1 to make up for some lost time this week due to all of the winter storms that have moved through. Bring your driver's license and your insurance card. There's no out-of-pocket expense. If you think you've been exposed, you have symptoms, or you hadn't been able to get out and get a test this week, Natural State Laboratories will test you today, get the results for you tomorrow. 8 to 1 today, Community Bible Church, 9201 Dallas Street in Fort Smith with Natural State Laboratories. We'll head to Oakland and the track with Lane Whitman next on the Morning Rush.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Barry Odom. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best deals on hot tubs and endless pools in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas is at Burton Pools and Spas. Achieve your health and wellness goals in 2021 with a fantasy spa starting at just $28.95 with 28 selections to choose from. Or the endless pool fitness systems. They give you boundless fitness with swimming year-round. Delivered, installed, and ready to use from Burton Pools and Spas. Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and in Northwest Arkansas. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
at any of the Clay Maxey companies. It's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the heated patio and the cozy dining room. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 to 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
This is Mike Hatchley with Hatchley Air. Did you know we've been serving customers like you since 1958? For our 63rd birthday, Carrier gave us a free furnace. We decided to pay it forward by giving the furnace away along with a brand new high-efficiency air conditioner. For your chance to win, go to AshleyAir.com. One lucky homeowner will win a high-efficiency system valued at nearly $9,000, and there's no cost to you. Don't wait to enter. The drawing will be held on February the 25th.
AshleyAir.com. Hey, grounds guys.
Hey, what?
How'd you like to mow my lawn?
You betcha. If you want your lawn professionally maintained, the Grounds Guys is your one-stop shop. The Grounds Guys will mow, trim, edge, blow away all the debris off your sidewalks and driveway, and keep your lawn the envy of the neighborhood all year long. Call 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-GUYS. Or go to groundsguys.com for all your lawn care needs in Northwest Arkansas and the Fort Smith area. The Grounds Guys. Leave the yard work to us.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
ESPN 95.3. Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
And Sills drives underneath. Dazzy missed the shot, but Williams is there to clean it up. Jalen with a one-hand slam. Hogs lead for the first time tonight.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Got to talk to Lang Whitman about a little horse racing action coming up here on the Morning Rush. You got any questions for him, send them in at 877-377-6963.
Hey, nothing worse than computer problems where you work or your laptop doesn't work. But, when something's wrong with your computer network, you don't know whether it's the router, the computer itself, your software, do you have malware, ransomware on your system. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. They have a multifaceted approach to IT to support everything you got to keep it working at optimum performance. Hashtag prevents the smallest problems from becoming the biggest issues. You can call Daryl today, 479-802-4978. He'll come look at your network and see how they can help you. 479-802-4978 for Hashtag Technology without the headaches. Time to head to the races, which this weekend Mother Nature has called an audible, so to speak, to use the football term here with some horse racing. Lang is with us now. This update always brought to you by Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford. Supposed to have been a big weekend for stakes races that were made good from the previous weekend. And Lang, once again, those big stakes races having to be pushed back again as Oaklawn's trying to thaw out like the rest of the state.
Yeah, Oaklawn has been in a scramble mode as they've lost the last 8 days of racing. Once we get through Sunday, last Wednesday they announced changes for the rest of the meet, including the rescheduling of 5 stakes races worth over $2 million for next weekend, the 27th and 28th, highlighted by the $750,000 Southwest Stakes that offers points toward the Kentucky Derby, and the $600,000 Razorback Handicap. Both those are going to be now on Saturday the 27th. So it looks like next weekend there's going to be 3 stakes races on Saturday, 3 stakes races on Sunday for a total of 6. A big weekend to get the horses running back at Oaklawn, which we'll talk more about at this time next week.
Brad Cox is one of the top trainers there, and I know everyone is trying to get those points towards the Kentucky Derby. We don't ever talk racing in Dubai, but if you love horse racing and Oaklawn's out for this weekend, I know the Saudi Cup and there's a couple big races in Dubai, and Brad Cox, who's got the connection with Oaklawn, kind of right in the middle of that as well.
Yeah, the richest world, the $20 million Saudi Cup from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is running tomorrow. And yes, I know on here a lot. I talk about Brad Cox and Steve Asmussen. Also, one of the top trainers in the country is Bob Baffert, and Brad Cox and Bob Baffert right in the middle of the Saudi Cup. Nick's Go from the Brad Cox barn, who started his current winning with a 12 Oaklawn, and he's going to be facing the Skeleton, who won one version of the Arkansas Derby last year. Was ultimately.
Yeah, our connection, Lang, is struggling this morning. I guess probably the cell towers are still thawing out. I don't know if you can still hear it. You can get Lang's picks.
Can you hear me?
I can just you're cutting in and out. So I think probably just your cell connections. I know a lot of the technology is strained right now, but wanted to mention because we're having a little trouble hearing what you're saying there. If folks want your picks, you're going to give out free Fairgrounds picks today since there's no Oaklawn. So free Fairgrounds picks. All you got to do is send a message to the Railbird 333 on Facebook and Twitter, and you'll get those picks out to them.
I'll do that. Can you, if you can hear me now? Yeah, just mention the Morning Rush. Mention Tommy. Mention Ty. I'll even accept Clay. Mention somebody about the Morning Rush, and I'll get you my full card free picks today from Fairgrounds.
All right, thaw out, and we'll talk next Friday when we get ready for some more racing at Oaklawn for the weekend.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Lang Whitman is with us every Friday here on the Morning Rush. And, again, all those big stakes races pushed back because of the weather the last a little over a week now at Oaklawn. Our update always brought to you by Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, they can take care of it all. And, of course, those great cinnamon rolls is the hallmark at Calico County. You can order online. You can look at their menus, and they're back at it today, open and ready to go today at calicocounty.net, or stop in and see them again just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford. If you like American, down-home, Southern cooking, you're going to love
The
Calico.
way to go,
yeah,
man.
You're going to love Calico County.
Blair's texting me right now. I need some help with some Twitch stuff. I'm going to hopefully be able to help out with him. That is a Sunday night tradition for much of my group, and a lot of
Calico.
The guys that have come into town, that have come in to see me, are stopping by for work or something here in the River Valley area. Taking them, a few of them there, and they have thoroughly enjoyed it. The cinnamon rolls. Once you start with the cinnamon rolls, it's just gravy after that, basically.
And sometimes literally gravy.
Legitimately gravy.
At Calico. All right, basketball and baseball. Baseball season starts this weekend. Clay, I'm excited about all of this weekend. Radio only for the baseball, so we'll get to hear Phil describe the action. Wish we got to see more of this team, but it won't be long. They'll have their home opener next Thursday as it's scheduled right now. If the weather doesn't get in the way of that, right now the forecast's going to get better. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, maybe even pushing 70 middle of the week. And then by next weekend, the rain and some 40s are back in the forecast right now, at least, for Fayetteville.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a good Dave Van Horn team. That's kind of an oxymoron, right? There's no other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all we know in the last 20 years is that when baseball rolls around, Dave Van Horn will figure it out, and it might not be right at the start. One of the interesting aspects about going and playing these Texas teams is they haven't been outside either. There's been no way to practice in Texas the last 2 weeks.
Boy, you're sure glad to have that indoor facility right now if you're Arkansas. At least you can get some work done.
Plus, those Texas teams are already soft to begin with, so they're not going to be used to.
Well, they don't need an indoor down in Texas. You kind of got to have one here.
Yeah,
so.
it's a little.
Bet they
different.
get one now at Texas.
Clay, we were discussing earlier. It's going to be quite. We thought it was going to warm up a little bit, but then we looked at the weather. It's still going to be freezing next week, and
It's going to warm up, and then it's going to get cold again.
Yeah, not the same temps that we've been dealing with, but the SEMO series next weekend, starting next Thursday, it's going to be cold. But I know a lot of Arkansas fans are ready to be back in Baum-Walker Stadium this season. All right, we'll wrap up the show coming up next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I absolutely love your show. I can't listen to anything else on the drive to work in the morning other than the morning rush.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
With prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my TaxMax program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
A chicken wing is just a flavor missile covered in awesomeness. And at Buffalo Wild Wings, we're locked and loaded with 26 sauces and seasonings aimed right at your face. So whether you're gearing up for the sweet tang of honey barbecue, Magma Hot Blazing Carolina Reaper, or new zesty lemon pepper sauce, get ready, because your mouth's in the blast zone. 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
At Franco Furniture for the month of February, Franco Furniture is ready to deal on cash or finance sales. Just come on in and tell us you heard this ad on ESPN 95.3 and receive huge discounts. Franco Furniture stands behind our furniture with service after the sale and carry as many made in the USA brands as possible. We are family owned and offer in-store no credit check financing. Franco Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations on Borough Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to WholeHogFortSmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are open with limited seating until further notice. They're open 11 till 6 Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Shot clock winding down, 5 to shoot. Backdoor lob to Justin Smith. Smith throws it down, and the Hawks go up by 6.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Last segment here on the Morning Rush. If you want to call or text in the last segment, if you want to get your take on the Arkansas basketball team tomorrow against Texas A&M, where this football program is headed, excitement about baseball, feel free to hop in here. But before we let anyone else in, we do want to let in Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources this morning. Larry, what's going on, man?
Hey, good morning. Well, the sun is shining and the lot's cleared off and the cars are cleared off, and we're ready to get back in business over here at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi, and Springdale. You know that we've got to catch up for that week, folks. We're going to be putting a lot of deals together, making it easier than ever to get your nicer, newer car at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, discounts up to $3,113 on these nicer, newer cars. And, folks, these cars are Rath ready. I mean, these cars have been handpicked, run through the Meineke Car Care Center for a complete inspection where we fix everything we find wrong with them, do all the maintenance, take them through our detail department. When they come out of there, Sean's got them looking perfect. We put that sticker on Rath Road Ready, only available at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. If you're looking for a brand new car, this great lineup of new Mitsubishis is a lot of fun. Up to $3,500 off, 0% for 60 months on some of those. You know, the nation's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on those cars. You just can't beat it. So lots of great things going on. It's going to be a fun weekend, folks. Come out and see it. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, or check us out online at rathauto.com.
And this weekend, get a free snow shovel with any new car purchased at Rath Auto Resources. That's in Fort
Stop
Smith.
it, man. You know, there's not a snow shovel in Arkansas for sale.
Well, you know what?
that.
We have to give it an IOU, but we'll get it to you by July when you really need it. So, waiting on the boat to come
I'll work
in
it out.
China.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get it figured out. So,
We'll figure it out.
Wrath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale, we reserve the right to replace it with a snow scraper, one of those ice scrapers. You know, we'll get you one of those if nothing else.
That's right.
Fort Smith and Springdale. Larry, have a great weekend, and we'll chat next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see it.
Got a lot of good stuff going in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast this morning. We talked about just kind of what it is right now to be an Arkansas Razorback fan. Baseball starts this weekend, got some great games ahead. Your football team looks to be on the right track. Your athletics director can relate to the common fan, to the fan that's making millions of dollars. That's what you have right now in this Arkansas basketball team. Speaks for itself, 7 straight conference wins. Maybe you'll get number 8 tomorrow. We also discussed a little bit about Jalen Williams and Devontae Davis, and I think those two guys, Moses is far and away, clear and ahead, the most polished player at this point, but you've gotten more out of Devo and Jalen than I think some people were expecting, and that's been really, really fun to watch. And we also had a fantastic conversation with Jake Beckett that's already up on our hitthatline.com platforms that you can listen. We got over 15 platforms you can listen to us: iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts this morning. So it's going to be a dandy for those who didn't get a chance to listen to all of those conversations.
Yeah. I mean, anytime Clay's on the podcast, I mean, the numbers just
dwindle.
They just go through the roof.
They go through the roof. Okay.
They melt the snow.
And speaking of podcasts Clay is on, Clay is kindly accepted in hour number 2 my invitation to Trust in the Process next week. So we've already got some media members, Clay, who are excited about you joining the program. And I'm just I got to make sure that this is the best prep that I've ever been for an interview for my entire life, because this is going to be a professor-student relationship where I'm getting critiqued mid-interview regardless of how much time and prep I've actually spent on it.
Yeah, but I have to remind you, we haven't worked out the details. I don't ever.
Of course,
this is kind of like somebody saying I'm going to write a 4-part series on something. You don't say what it is until you're done, because you never know how things are going to turn out. So I wouldn't promote this until we've actually done it, Ty, because something may happen. I may get up and, change my mind. There may be, I may have, it might be a warm day and there's a chance to go fishing, and you'll go to the end of the road. I mean, you'll just have to wait till another month. So I would wait until you've done it to promote it.
What happened to?
Because you hadn't even given me a day, a time. Why would you promote something that you haven't even organized yet? Tommy, what are you going to do with him?
I was taught by my grandfather, the late Daddy Joe, when you give a man your word, you keep it, Clay, and you gave me your word.
But you got to give me a time and a day. It's kind of
Clay. That's semantics at this point. When do you want to do it?
I'm not sure.
He'll have to check the weather forecast to get back.
There
to
are
you.
a lot of things that take precedent.
That's a big word.
Over that.
Okay.
And the priority of what, I've got to check with Jean Ann. She's the boss. And it's like, it may or may not happen. And I would not promote it until it's in the bank, right?
Clay clearly doesn't understand what kind of boost this is going to be for his career. Being on Ty's podcast, I don't think you really understand the gravity of the situation here, Clay.
All right.
So do you think
and what it can do to cement your legacy.
Do you think that there'll be 2, 3, 4 people that listen to this? I mean,
it's been
5?
It's been averaging about
a dozen.
All right.
No, if Clay's on there, there'd be at least 30.
Listen, if you don't want to come on, Clay, I'd love to have you on, but if you're going to be as difficult about it as we have been in the last 2 or 3 minutes, then it's just not worth it.
Is surly the right word? It might happen. We'll see if we can work it out. But I wouldn't tell people you're going to have something until you've got it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to teach you.
You know, one of the different people that I've had on, including some elder statesmen in Arkansas media like a Mike Irwin and Richard Davenport, they weren't as difficult to nail down. It was just Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So I don't know what that says about you, Clay, but
Well, I told you about 3 months ago that I would do it, and then never heard from you again.
that's not at all what happened. The exact words were, "I'm not going to do it unless I get paid." And those were the exact words that if we pulled the tape, the exact.
And you know what?
response.
I haven't been paid, so I guess I'm not.
I guess
doing
you're
it.
not going to do it. All right, I'm going to have to take the. I've already put
Tommy,
it up.
Would you coach him a little better
Well,
on how to do
I
this?
think he was going to buy you one of them fried bologna sandwiches at
I know,
Heidi's
that
Ugly
would have
Cakes or
worked.
something.
That would have worked, but it's just that's all it would have
It
took.
may take 2 bologna sandwiches now, Ty.
Yeah, and some strawberry cake. Yeah,
Substitute.
I had strawberry cake in a minute. That sounds delightful right now. Speaking of something,
hey, it's going to be fun, Ty. It's going to
Okay.
be fun.
All right.
Yep.
He's had his fun this morning. So there was this. We had a caller in St. Louis a little earlier this week, and we also heard Jake Beckett and Clay talk about his father's piece. A guy by the name of Steve Atwater that you're recruiting out of the St. Louis area in his father's book. There's this guy named Tom Cavins who braved the snowstorm in St. Louis to get his wife some corn dogs.
Plow clear snow nearly as quickly as it falls in the Columbia Shopping Center. One of the people making a quick dash inside, truck driver Tom Cavins.
My wife wanted some corn dogs for dinner, so dug the car out of snow to grab some corn dogs for her. The snow like this is nothing new to me, really.
Schnucks had space heaters by the front.
As we close down the Morning Rush here, I'd like to ask our Morning Rush listeners at 877-377-6963. First off, what's the weirdest thing your wife or as you as the ladies of the Morning Rush have craved while you're pregnant or she's pregnant? And what have you had to go get? Like for Laura, for Mrs. Jean Ann, obviously I'm not married, so I don't have an example I can use. What's the weirdest thing that they ever craved and that you would have had to brave a snowpocalypse to go get it in order to not face down the wrath?
I'm trying to remember the cravings because she did have a few with Dylan. Not as many on the second trip with Abigail, but I can just tell you this. There could be 9 feet of snow in my driveway. If we run out of those little K-Cups and we can't make any coffee, somebody's going to the store and it's not going to be her. So a lot of things can be out of stock in the house.
Okay.
But pregnant, no pregnant, craving, no craving. If we run out of coffee, we have a situation, a bad one. So I can just tell you this. I may need snowshoes to get to the neighborhood market, but we're going to have coffee.
Now, it's funny.
Not for me, but for her.
You and I get up earlier. Jenkins, you don't drink coffee. You're like a Coke man, right? You do
well,
have to.
I was a Coke, but I have switched over to the Yeti of water.
Okay. So you've kind of like
trying to
switched
do
over.
my part to.
Neither you or I drink.
Your part to what?
Well, I'm trying to take up the healthy part that he doesn't do.
Okay, gotcha.
Neither you or I, as early as we get up, like my friends are amazed that I wake up at 4:15 and don't have any caffeine of any nature,
Nope.
and you don't either.
Nope.
Which
probably should, but don't.
It's wild to me. You brought up the K-Cups and the coffee. Clay, what is something that Jean Ann has requested when you had your 2 daughters at an early stage, when obviously before they were born? What is something that she craved that you would have had to brave a snowstorm for?
I think Skittles. I think it was something like that.
Okay.
I think she would have a craving for some kind of sugar. I do remember this. She's not listening. I can guarantee you that. So I wouldn't say it if she was. But she taught elementary PE when she was pregnant with Sarah.
Okay.
And she would need my windbreakers, because they were, she was getting larger, and I would find Snickers wrappers and Skittles wrappers and all kinds of wrappers in my pockets, and I just kind of chuckled. But, it was – I'll tell you what she craves now is Halo Top Vanilla Bean ice cream.
Halo Top. I've seen the –
They come in very small cartons,
Yeah.
so I usually have to buy 4 at a time.
Oh, wow.
And she puts dark chocolate M&Ms crushed on top of it. That's her nightly little, and it's in a little bitty cup. She doesn't doesn't. She's in perfect health and works out every day. So she's a retired health teacher, so you can figure that out.
All right, here's a couple responses we've gotten, guys. Rod's wife said anchovies with maple syrup. B in Clarksville said his wife craved mustard and pickles. Now there's a store by the name of that in Little Rock. I remember that. It's like a newly birthed store. Jody and Harrison said fried pickle and blooming onions is something that his wife craved back in the day.
Laura wanted grilled cheese and cheese pizza. She had like no appetite for a steak or burgers or meat.
Okay.
In her pregnancy, but cheese, couldn't get enough of it. But nothing weird like put pickles and sour cream on it. Just
Here's some of the.
I think there were bananas and peanut butter together.
Yeah.
I think there was some of that. Yeah.
Here's some of the snacks I listed out. Y'all, real quick, your nay. Cheez-Its.
Absolutely. The jalapeno ones too.
Frosted cookies.
You had me at cookies. Yeah.
Beer.
Well, yeah.
Wait, like women obviously can't do that. Hopefully, I don't know.
One a day. Hey, her doctor said have a glass of wine every day.
All right. Jalapeno cheddar chips.
One a day.
One a day.
I'll pass on that.
Goldfish.
I have to.
Oreos.
Absolutely.
Oreos.
Double stuff.
Double
yes,
stuff.
sir.
That's the correct answer.
Absolutely.
And we'll end on that. For Clay Henry, Tommy Kraft, Matt Jenkins, I'm Ty Richardson. Hey, don't spend your life and your weekend sitting on your hands. We'll talk on Monday. Everyone be safe.
The best deals on hot tubs and endless pools in Fort